It's time to show them.
Yeah.
You have now mastered the basic skills. It's time for your first challenge.
Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. Make sure y'all can hear me. Sorry. Checking the settings. Y'all know how it is. We got to check the settings to start the show. Shout out to everybody out there. Shout out to Halima first in the building. Good evening to you, Halima. Hopefully all is well. I saw you post something from, you call him Coach, David Goggins, the other day. Salute to him. Inspirational story. If you haven't read his books or, don't know any of his story, make sure you check him out. Definitely an inspirational story. Shout out to Retro813 in the building. Salutes to you. Lester, the YouTube God in the building. Salute, Lester. Hopefully you safe out there on them roads. We woke up with Lester this morning. Lester was dropping that, getting to that first stop early and picking up another one. So hopefully you safe out there on them roads. Who else we got in the building? Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody who hit that like button on the way in. Shout out to Just Jay in the building. Hopefully you safe out there on them roads too.
Just Jay. Shout out to Just Jay. Just Jay. Shout out to Just Jay.
Yeah, shout out to the chat. Shout out to everybody coming in. Everybody hitting that like button. Sherry Bice, good evening to you. Hopefully all is well. Let me move this up here so I'm not looking down so much. I don't like looking down like that. Trying to get my setup straight, But we gonna have a good show for y'all today. We gonna have a good show for you. We'll drop the link a little bit later in the show. But for right now, we're gonna, I'm not gonna waste too much of y'all's time. I mean, we're gonna be here for a little bit. I got a good show planned for you. But I, don't like to waste y'all's time because I know time is one of the most valuable things that we have out here. And speaking of which, it's a perfect segue into the first thing I planned on talking about anyways. I've shown this to y'all before. I'm going to show it to you again because what are we here to talk about? We're here to talk about relationships, right? This is relationship talk. That's what, we're doing, relationship talk. And today, we're going to be talking about relationships a little bit differently than we have in the past. We're not talking about so much romantic relationships. We're not talking about, a couple or anything like that, but we're talking about some of the other relationships that we experience out here in the world, right? So, speaking of which, I was talking about time, right? I'm not going to take up too much of y'all's time, but, I want to be I guess a blessing to you with the time that I am taking up. I guess is the best way to say it. Shout out to a friend, author Alexia Moss, Stealing Back Time. Y'all make sure y'all check this out. You can find it on Amazon. You can find it all over the place. But the reason I'm bringing that up to you is because, and I'm going to show you right here, you can find it on Amazon. As you can see, there's the prices for you. They got all of the different versions, the Kindle version, the paperback, the hardcover. I got the hardcover here, signed copy from the author because, she's a friend of ours. But I also have my paperback copy that I use for actual, it's a workbook. Kiss my cheeks. Good evening to you. Still at work. And hopefully that it's not too, taxing of a time for you. You're able to listen, so that's a good thing. Got a job where you're able to listen. Salute to you. Demetric Jones. Good evening, fam. Salute to you. Hopefully all is well. Salute to Tayward. Well, like I said, Stealing Back Time. That's the name of the book. Alexia Moss is the author. That's what you see up there on the screen. That's where you can find it at Amazon, the different versions. But the reason I'm bringing that up, like I said, we're talking about relationship, right? We're talking about relationship from a bunch of different perspectives. And in this episode, we're going to talk about it from things outside of a romantic relationship, right? And there's an excerpt in this book that shout out to number one in the house. Appreciate you. There's an excerpt in this book that helps me to kind of segue into the first type of relationship that I want to talk about, right? So let me read it to y'all really quickly, and then I'll explain, how I'm talking about it, because I'll explain it a little bit now. What I'm talking about here is your relationship with yourself. Roll Rich II in the building. Salute, bro. Cap in the building. Your relationship with yourself. Some people, it's hard for them to be honest with themselves and to be brutally honest with themselves. So that's the relationship that I'm talking about here. So this book is all about, again, stealing back time. This is about you doing less and achieving more, how to master efficiency and productivity. So it's how to get back time in your life, earn or gain back some of the time that you're spending doing other things, right? So real quick, an excerpt from the book says, only your body can do it. According to the Oxford English Dictionary, the first citing of the word multitask appeared in 1966 in a magazine called Datamation, I believe is the way it's said, Datamation. That's the name of the book, or the magazine. Multitasking was the term used in the article to describe the concurrent functions of the central processing unit of a computer. We are human beings, not computers. So, contrary to what you might think, our brains work quite differently. When you consider the true meaning of multitasking, namely doing more than one thing concurrently or at the same time, then you will start to see that the only way you can truly multitask is through the internal workings of our body. The physiological and neurological systems that operate seamlessly in the background thanks to our central autonomic nervous systems. These are all the things that our body and brain do to keep us alive. Nature says nature did not trust us with these important tasks. Therefore, it took them out of our cognitive hands, quite wisely, fearing that we may be too easily distracted and forget to breathe. Y'all understand what we're saying here? There's a whole bunch of things that our bodies just do naturally that we don't think about doing because we have systems in our bodies that control that and make our bodies just do that, like breathing, for example. Cheryl Hodges, good afternoon, good evening to you. So it goes on to say, when we consider all the numerous things we have on our to-do lists and that we are progressing day by day, we may think that we are multitasking, but in reality, we are not. We are switch tasking. Our minds are deceptive things and they flit quickly from one thought to another in a split second. So we feel like we're multitasking, but that's not how our brains operate. When it comes to activities that require active cognitive thought, especially those that also require some sort of physical activity such as typing or operating machinery, we are linear creatures. We can only do one thing at a time. We may switch rapidly from one to another, but we are not doing them concurrently. We are therefore, by definition, not multitasking. So what this is trying to explain to you here is the way that we kind of trick ourselves into thinking that we are multitasking or getting two things done at once when that's not really what's happening, because we as human beings are not computers. We're not capable of being able to process two things at once like that. So for example, right now I have 4 screens on in front of me right now. Tesha Z, salute, respect. I have 4 screens on in front of me right now, but I cannot possibly actively look at more than one of those screens at any given time and actually receive and process the information from whatever's on that screen. Yeah, I may be able to see all of them in terms of peripherally, I can see all of them at once, but I can only focus on any one given one of them at any given time. So that's kind of the point that's being made here. And this is, again, about the relationship we have with self. How many of us out there are fooling ourselves into believing we may be, say, multitasking, which is something that we are not even really capable as human beings of doing. But are you able to be honest with self enough to say, what I am actually doing here is not multitasking, but I'm switch tasking, and I'm not accomplishing more necessarily. I'm just progressing two things along at different paces and at different times. Because I'm focused on this one for this time, then I flip back over and focus on this one. And I could be actually wasting or losing time when I'm flipping back and forth in between those two tasks as opposed to staying focused on any one given task. So again, just my little segue, or not segue, but my plug, shameless plug again, Still in Back Time, author Alexia Moss. You can find it on Amazon, pretty much anywhere you find your books. You'll be blessed by the experience of going through it, reading it, and actually understanding the concepts and tasks that she's trying to impart upon you. It's a workbook. It's not just for reading. It's actually part of a trilogy. You'll have to wait on 2 and 3, but it's a workbook. So, all right, where are we going? Where are we going? What are we here for? We got a thumbnail. What are we here for? Little bit of merch in the background. Shout out to Just Jay, the mod, putting out the information for the merch shop. And you can see there's a little bit of merch in the background over here, over my shoulder. So what are we here for? Relationship talk. We're here for relationship talk. You know, that's what the series, you know, that's what we're focused on right now. And you see, the thumbnail changed over time. I started with one thumbnail and I decided to add some things. Let me take this down real quick. So you see, most of the stuff that you see on the right side of the screen was already on the thumbnail, talking about coworkers, supervisors, business partners, the Gills Arena Stephen A. Smith interview reaction. But the stuff on the left side of the screen got added after the fact. That's talking about these predator protectors. So, well, I mean, y'all can probably tell a lot of you in the chat know who we're referencing whenever I'm talking about that. Tess, your wife said, man is not multitasking, a woman can. Well, tell your wife a woman wrote this book. And, you know, she's the one. Hold on, let me Let me take this thumbnail down so y'all can see me. Your wife, a woman, is the one who wrote this book. So she's the one that's putting that information out there. Alexia Moss, Stealing Back Time. And it's a woman who wrote this book. She's the one that's saying this stuff. So I disagree, and I got at least one woman on my side that disagrees. Yeah. You can't focus on the two things at once. It just, our brains don't work like that. We may think we are, but we're really not. But shout out to Tesha Z's, and with Tesha Z's here, we're going to welcome in, because we never forget. We never ever forget. We want to welcome in one of the realists, because we are going to talk about some sector stuff here. We get ready to talk about some sector stuff. We're going to talk about the left side of the thumbnail here right now, the predator protectors. So since Tesha Z's is in the building, just always makes me think about the one and only, one of the realest to ever do it. Uncle L, salute. Makes me think about one of the realest to do it. So let's welcome her in without further ado. Rest in peace to the one and only Lady DJ.
Hey, if I hurt anybody in this live, I'm not sorry. Fuck you bitches. Nobody cares. Don't worry about me. Like Diana Ross, I will always be here. I like to talk my shit and move my lips. And let the beat sound right. Get up and shake my hips. One of the baddest bitches you can ever see on this motherfucking YouTube TV. Take it for what the fuck it is. All you niggas is grown, none of you supposed to be kids. So I'm gonna lay it on line one more time. Let you know you bitches ain't fine. Some of you bitches is ugly as hell, and you know the universe ain't lying. Look at Trina looking like Proud Puffy all about all night. If anybody felt your face with the eye closed, it would be a disgrace. They would think you the dog in the house. Walking around, bitch, you ain't got no mouth. That's why you can't even talk. I thought it was because you're from down south, but now I see your jaw's too heavy and you can barely motherfucking talk. And if you ever run up on a bitch like me, I'ma make them motherfucking jaws off. How they hang so low? You really out here sucking dick though? Child, you a sadist. All you niggas out here, you better be glad that you didn't fall in love with this creature from another motherfucking planet. All these bitches don't like the way I rap because they know they can't understand it. How I throw the dirt in their face and they think it's a joke. And I'm trying to make sure everybody out here in the face fucking choke. Yeah. Catch up with me and you'll be next in line. Cause I'm always first, motherfucker. Always flowing and flowing fine. Bitches wanna do the shit I do. But these bitches is losing their mind. And they forgot and they confused. They don't even know what today is. Cause these bitches wanna play. And I'm out here on this YouTube shit dropping content every day. While you sit back and watch and I give you a verbal nod, I bet you one thing, you'll remember next time, bitch, and you will stop. Cause when it comes to me, I'ma stand on top. Everything I own, take accountability. You niggas out here talking all that shit, and really in true life, you look silly to me. Acting like you got an excuse for every motherfucking thing that you do. And we don't even know you, nigga, you's a clown. And nobody never had a clue. So it's Saturday and I'm chilling in my own motherfucking zone. In my own motherfucking home. You bitches better leave me alone, yeah.
Rest in peace to the one and only Lady DJ. Yeah, Uncle, I loved her smile too, man. And again, she was one of the realest, keep it the realest with everybody out here on these YouTube streets. So, man, rest in peace to the one and only Lady DJ. Gone but never forgotten. Gone but never forgotten. Lovelace, welcome to you. Good evening. Good evening, Lovelace. Thank you so much for coming through. Triple S, Scammer, Scoundrels, and Scallywags, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all check out the new Triple S drop. I'm not going to play it because I want y'all to go over there and watch it. You know, that's how I do. I don't believe in playing her drops right after she drops them because I believe she's supposed to get the view first. After y'all done watched it over there a couple times, gave her a couple views on it, then we can play it. You know, but yeah, y'all make sure y'all go check out that latest Triple S drop. It's hilarious, to say the least. And yeah, just watch it. I ain't even gonna say no more about it. Just watch it. You're gonna have to watch it like I did, and yeah, go watch it. Shout out to the one and only Triple S. Speaking of, we'll do that in a minute. Yeah, that new drop is something else, Lovelace. It is something else. Y'all make sure y'all check out that new Triple S drop. Like I said, I'm not going to play it. Y'all go over there and watch it. I'm going to play a different Triple S drop, but not right this second. We're going to first talk about something a little bit different, and then I'll play the Triple S drop. So again, we're talking about relationships. Flip, what up? Salute. We're talking about relationships. And again, we're not specifically talking about romantic relationships today. We're talking about all of the different other types of relationships out there, right? So we're going to get into some sector stuff here. And a lot of y'all have been around for a lot of the stuff I'm going to talk about, but maybe haven't heard it from my perspective, haven't heard this perspective put on it, or maybe you haven't heard the stuff at all. You know, people are around for things and they're not around for things. CKJ, salute. So the first type of relationship we're going to talk about is a parent-child relationship, right? And never forget that a child's first enemy is an unhealed parent. Never forget that. The first enemy that a child will probably experience in this world, or possibly experience, if they have an unhealed parent, is that unhealed parent. You know, filling them with a whole bunch of the wounds and stuff that the parent is carrying and not taking care of, not getting the therapy, mental health for, you know, that type of stuff, right? So keep that in mind as we venture into this first relationship that we're going to discuss. And again, it's a parent and child relationship, right? So y'all remember, a lot of y'all remember when a certain, not worth it, salute. Mika, happy wacky Wednesday to you too. Y'all remember when a certain somebody decided that it was a good idea to not only leave their child at a restaurant, but come to YouTube and talk about it, right? So let's discuss that really quickly. It's not too long of a video. Let's just hear some of the things and give a little bit of reaction. Why don't we talk about this parent and child relationship, father-daughter specifically in this instance?
So it's been interesting what's been going on. See, that devil working in overdrive right now. The devil working in overdrive, because I really like that. The devil working in overdrive trying to get at me. So my own daughter tried to line me up yesterday.
So let's just start right there. The devil working in overdrive trying to get at him, and his own daughter tried to line him up, and that's what he decides to bring to YouTube, right? So not thinking about the fact that, you know, this may be karma that he's bringing on himself by surrounding himself with a bunch of devils. No, the devil's working on him, trying to get at him, you know, and his daughter. He's going to throw his daughter now under the bus for YouTube content.
And it's the weirdest shit because I only go pick up my baby daughter. But for some strange reason, my baby mama say, no, you got to take the other daughter with you. And I say, wait a minute. This child hadn't been around me in a long time. This child takes her clothes out of the bag and let me leave with the baby child and never wanted to come on visits, nothing. So, okay, cool. You know, it's a privilege to have a daddy. That's what's up. You don't want to hang out? Cool. So all of a sudden, you know, I go pick up my little baby daughter, bam, bam. We finna run around this bitch and go crazy because, you know, we always kicking it. The other daughter come with a big ass horsehair in her goddamn head. All this goddamn
Big hand salute. Another cap in the building. All right, so let's just break down some of the things we've heard right here. So he goes to pick up one daughter. So he only went there with the intention of picking up one daughter. I'm guessing he has more than one daughter by this specific baby mom, right? So he goes to pick up one daughter specifically. The baby mama says, you got to take both of them with you. For whatever reason, I ain't going to get into that. But she says you got to take both of them with you. He's questioning why he got to take the older one with him. And now it's, again, bring it to YouTube and say a bunch of negative stuff about his child. Talking about horsehair in her head and all of that stuff. So if you don't want her to have horsehair in her head, why don't you pay for her to have real hair in her head? Human hair in her head. I mean, you have the option to do that. Musso Bron, salute. 40 the splatter, what up? Why did you have to bring it to YouTube and tell the people of YouTube that your daughter has horsehair in her head, as opposed to keeping that to yourself or you paying for her to have some other kind of hair in her head? Just a question. Again, I don't even think this is YouTube worthy, but he decided to bring it to YouTube for content for his people.
gloss, all this goddamn perfume. So, okay, I ain't thinking nothing of it. So I don't know why she's there, but I'm not going to, not have my child around. But
I mean, it sounded like he wanted to not have his child around. I mean, he's not going to not have his child around. It sounded like he was asking all of the questions to try to not have her around. What are we talking about here?
Still skeptical because I know there's some bullshit going on. So the whole time we in the car, she's recording me. I'm playing music and just bopping. I'm being recorded. So I look back. She got her phone recording me the whole time.
So let me ask you this. If this child has not been with you very often, like, recently, hasn't been around you, maybe she wanted to get some footage of you, to have with her, say that this is her daddy, or to see you, since she don't see you very often. I don't know. There's any reason that she could have been recording you. My real question is, what is it that you could have or would have been doing that you would have had a problem with her recording? I mean, if you're not doing anything that she can't see, then what's the problem with her recording it? I mean, I understand if you don't want her live streaming your location, stuff like that. I understand that for safety reasons. And that's a conversation that you should probably be able to have with her to explain why, not just do as I say, not just a do as I say thing, but explain to her the dangers and how that's a safety hazard for her to do that anytime, whether she's with you, especially if she's by herself. Because you're not there to protect her when she's not with you. And if she's live streaming by herself, that's dangerous to any young man who may have some nefarious intentions, So instead of bringing it to YouTube, again, have the conversation with her. Instead of thinking all of it skeptical and like it's some kind of bullshit, as he says, actually have a conversation with her. But he doesn't seem to want to do that.
So I said, okay, I'm being recorded. Cool. So now when I take them to the restaurant, she take a picture of the restaurant and then she doing a text, sending it to somebody. So we get in the restaurant. I say, hey, baby girl. I say, why are you recording me? And why did you just take that picture of the restaurant? She go, I do this all the time when I'm with my mama. I said, look here, baby girl, I don't do that. I said, so can you please stop recording me? And can you show me where you just sent that picture to? So she jumped up in the middle of the restaurant, yelling and shouting in the middle of the restaurant, trying to cause some love and hip hop scene. I step up. I said, she said, I'm ready.
Trying to create some love and hip hop scene. Why does everything have to be something like that? Why can't it be a disagreement between a teenage daughter and her father, who she doesn't spend a whole lot of time with, doesn't live under his roof, and doesn't normally live by his rules? Why can't it be that? Why does it have to be a horsehair and a love and hip hop scene? Why couldn't you have had this conversation with her in the car when you saw her recording? JT Money Man, what's good? Yeah, not worth it. She's never been a celebrity. How would she know? And she's never lived with a celebrity, it doesn't seem, in the age where she's been able to, record things and do things like that on her own. So how would she know these things? But again, Mika, I agree with you, because he sees women as ratchet in general, whether it's his own daughter or any other woman for that matter. He sees women, especially a woman of color, as ratchet. I mean, saying it's love and hip hop and all of that, I don't understand. Saying the horsehair, I don't get it. Why would you say these things about your child on YouTube for clicks and views? Why did this story even come to YouTube? Should have been a conversation because of a relationship that you have with your daughter. Before it even got to the restaurant, that conversation could have been had, that, you don't like that type of thing, and explain to her the dangers of it. It shouldn't be hard for a grown man to explain to a teenage girl the dangers of her sharing her location on social media while she's still there, or like while she's on her way there, things like that. Take all the pictures you want and post them to the gram after you leave, how you flossed last night. Do all of that. But posting it on your way there while you're there and all that stuff, explaining the dangers of that to a teenage girl would probably help her to protect herself, as opposed to it having to be a love and hip hop scene and horsehair. How's she ever going to respect you if you're approaching her like that? How's she ever going to take any advice from you, even as her father, if your approach to her is horsehair and love and hip hop?
Go home. No problem. I'll take you home. Let's go. I ain't getting in the car. So wait a minute. Which one is it? You want me to take you home? And now you're not getting in the car? How the fuck you gonna get home if you just sitting in the restaurant yelling in front of these goddamn white people and crying and making a scene? You do.
Oh, that remains salute. So another tactic that this crying giraffe likes to try is he makes it about race now, because he said that she's making a love and hip hop scene and yelling in front of these white people. You the one that took her to the restaurant where it ain't nothing but white people. If it's a whole bunch of white people in that restaurant, that's because that's where you took her. So do you only go to the restaurant in front of a whole bunch of white people? Because you're the one who took them to that restaurant. So what are we talking about here? Was she embarrassing you in front of the white people? That's why you call it horsehair and a love and hip hop scene? Because that's what the white people were saying to you. Ooh, she looked just like love and hip hop. I've never seen someone so ashamed of their own skin color. Everything is about white people on one thing, making a scene in front of white people. Okay, if it was the same scene in front of black people, would it have been different? Like, what does the race of the people who were in the place establishment have to do with anything? If she made the same scene in front of black people, would it be any different of a situation? A father and a daughter having a disagreement, and a father who apparently doesn't understand how to communicate with his teenage daughter. The situation would be the same. So, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense for you to even bring this story to YouTube in this fashion. It's just making you look and sound bad, in my opinion.
All this because I asked you not to record me and not take a picture of where my location is. Who the fuck takes a picture of the restaurant they're walking into? This doesn't even make any fucking sense.
Everybody takes a picture of the restaurant they're walking into. If they're walking into a nice ass restaurant that they may not have been to before, everybody takes a picture of that motherfucker when they're walking into it. They take a picture of the plate. They take a picture of the fucking drinks. They take a picture of the scenery and the ambiance. Every fucking body. I mean, I don't specifically, but every woman, every girl, every woman takes a picture of that shit. Why? Because that shit's going on the gram later. Why the fuck wouldn't she take a picture of the restaurant as she's walking in? Again, I'm not saying post it immediately. I'm not saying be live streaming it. But why the fuck wouldn't she take a picture of the restaurant as she's walking in? If she's walking into some nice ass restaurant. Right. Mika, you've posted pictures of restaurants, Kwame, before. What the fuck are we talking about here? Every woman, pretty much, I ain't gonna say every, because nothing's across the board, but a lot of women, and hell, men for that matter, take pictures of restaurants as they're walking into them. Why? Because they're gonna have that shit for later. Most people do when they're walking into a nice ass restaurant, especially if they've never been to it before. Most of the time, they'll take a picture of something that has the name of the restaurant, whether it's the front, whether it's something inside, whatever. Most people do that. So your logic doesn't make any sense.
So now I'm really mad because I left my gun at home. The only thing I got on me is some mace. I said, I'm around my kids. I ain't gonna bring no gun. I ain't gonna bring nothing.
Why the fuck not? Why the fuck not? If you're legally licensed to carry that gun, why the fuck wouldn't you have it, especially around your kids? That's the fastest way to get a motherfucker off you. You only have to shoot that shit half the time. That mace, a motherfucker might still try to test you. And it's probably going to impact your kids. Because you don't control the way the wind blows. As soon as you spray that mace, if that wind blow back in your face, you done fucked up you and your kids. Now what? Why the fuck wouldn't you have your gun? Stupid motherfucker. Especially with your kids. If it's you by yourself, then maybe you don't need the gun. Because you 7 foot and you might just tussle with whoever it is if they trying to bring you some static. But with your kids, you ain't got time to be fighting with no motherfuckers. Pull the fucking gun out. People back the fuck off, or you just pop something in them and it be done with it. If it comes to that, you know, if you're justified to do it. But again, your logic makes no sense. Your kids is a time when you should have your fucking gun.
So I'm sitting in this motherfucking restaurant. Something told me, nigga, get up. I got up, I go outside, they making all this love and hip hop noise. I hear the mama, she yelling, no, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. I said,
so back to love and hip hop noise. When the daughter's talking to the mama.
what? I hang up on her. I said, she's 17 years old. She at this restaurant. You better go get her. I'm out. I'm out.
So she's 17 years old. She at this restaurant. You better come get her. I'm out. So you couldn't have got her an Uber? She's 17. Does she have a driver's license? I mean, there's a whole bunch of things you could have done other than leaving your daughter. Mom Boss Mayo, good evening to you. There's a whole lot of options you had at your disposal other than leaving your daughter, your 17-year-old daughter, anywhere, especially stranded. So what is supposed to happen with this relationship now? It was already strained, you know, obviously going into this situation. But what is supposed to happen with this relationship now? When this young lady needs something that only a man, she can only think of a man to provide. Where's she supposed to go? Most young ladies would go to their father, their husband, one of their brothers, something like that. I mean, she does have brothers. I don't know what the relationship is with her brothers. So, and, you know, her brothers are old enough and bigger and shit like that. So maybe they'll be able to come around and maybe they'll have better sense than their father. But where's this young lady supposed to go? She's 17 at the time. She may still be 17, maybe 18. Where is she supposed to go when she needs a man to do something? When she needs something that only a man can provide. And I'm not talking about, again, we're not talking about romantic relationships here. So we're not talking about sex. We're talking about all the other shit that young ladies who are not married, who are, you know, out here in this world going to college, shit like that. Who do they call on? If they have their fathers in their life, most of them will call their father. Not have to depend on a boyfriend. Not to have to depend on having boyfriends around. What if she wants to be an independent young lady, you know, but she still is going to need a man around for certain things? She can't call on her father because she knows he will leave her fucking stranded at the restaurant around all the white people. Making a love and hip hop scene, as he calls it. So that leads me to believe if this is let's say this is a high class place, whole bunch of just all white people around. And as he describes her, 17 years old, horsehair, being all loud, making a love and hip hop scene out in the parking lot. What's the first thing them white people gonna do? What's the first thing them white people gonna do if there's this horsehair, love and hip hop scene going on outside of their establishment and ain't nothing but white people around this area and she ain't white? They gonna call the law on her motherfucking ass, and her 17-year-old ass can go to jail and get real charges in the state of Georgia. So you setting your daughter up, talking about you think she trying to set you up. You setting her up if this whole situation is as you describe it, which I highly doubt. But if she is making a love and hip hop scene and all this horsehair and shit in this white establishment that you're talking about, they gonna call the law on her 17-year-old ass, and her 17-year-old ass gonna get some charges. And that's gonna be all because you decided to abandon your daughter. Gee, mama body, good evening to you. All because you decided to abandon your daughter. What is supposed to happen to this relationship? You're supposed to be the adult in this situation. Instead, you abandoned your child. Your female child at that. You don't give a fuck about women at all, do you? At all. Let's listen to a little more.
If you can't respect my discipline, you can't respect your father that said he don't want you taking a picture of the restaurant we walking into. If you do that around your mama, do that around your mama. Don't do that around me. The fuck is you talking about? Man, that shit blowed me so much. I never was around this daughter like that. She all of a sudden came, it wasn't 10 minutes. It's a love and hip hop scene.
I never was around this daughter like that. So that means he doesn't have a relationship with this daughter at his own admission. He doesn't have a relationship with this daughter. And he thinks he can just talk to her any kind of way and start to instill discipline in somebody he doesn't have a relationship with. She didn't fucking sign up to go in the army. What makes you think this person that you have basically no relationship with is supposed to listen to you, listen to your discipline, listen to your advice? You couldn't even have an actual conversation with her. She's 17. Hell, even in a normal household at 17, you're kind of starting to get to a place where you're making your own decisions. Hell, I know I was in my house. I mean, yeah, I was still living in the house and stuff like that, but shit, I was working all the time. I was going to school and working. You know what I'm saying? So I was out doing shit, making my own decisions, almost, semi-adult decisions. I wasn't, paying for all my own bills and stuff at that point yet, but I was already, trending towards making adult decisions. Hey, put it like this. I was doing shit that could get me into adult trouble. How about that? Because I was driving, I already had my own car, all that shit. So I was doing shit that could get me into adult trouble at 17. Not that I was doing troublesome stuff, but the activities I was out doing, I was doing the activities that adults do in this world so I could get into the same type of trouble that them fucking adults get into. The Beef Sector Podcast, salute. So I don't think he understands what it is like. I mean, he's never lived with any of his children at the age of 17, I don't believe. So I don't think he understands what it's like to actually have a young woman. Hell, half the people that he associates with have done sexual things with girls much younger than his 17-year-old daughter, and he makes excuses for those people. Your 17-year-old daughter is a young woman in the eyes of some states. So you think you can just treat her like a child when she's 17 years old, yet there's these 14-year-olds out there that people that you associate with were grown men doing things with, and y'all want to make excuses for it? That doesn't jive.
And her mama do that same shit. I don't call her mama. I don't text her mama. I don't bother nobody. I'm the easiest baby daddy you can have. I don't bother you.
So this idiot thinks being an absent baby daddy makes him the easiest baby daddy you can have. He doesn't understand that there's more to parenting than just sending money. He thinks he just has to send money and he's doing all of the things and he's not actually being present for fucking doing anything. He doesn't realize that time is more valuable than his fucking money. Time with the children. Time for the baby mama to have with the children not there. But he's already said he basically spent no time with this child. So the baby mother was forced to raise this child her entire life for 17 years. He doesn't understand. He doesn't get it at all. He thinks money is the great key and solver to everything. And that's why he can't seem to build a relationship with anybody, because your money doesn't fucking build any real relationships. You can only get superficial relationships with money. That's why all the people he has hanging around him now are there. They're superficial relationships because they believe he has money. He doesn't even have the money they believe he has. But he's able to, defraud them into believing he has money so they stick around. But it's all superficial relationships.
Don't fuck with you. I don't bother no goddamn body. But my own child is recording and taking pictures of me. And then the week before that, hey, daddy, I just want to come to your house. What the fuck you want to come to my house? What do you mean you just want to come to my house? All of a sudden, out the blue, you want to come to my house.
What the fuck kind of questions are these about your child? Your child says they want to come to your house. They want to spend time with you. Your child wants to capture some of the moments. What is the problem? What are you doing that's so wrong, even for your baby mama to see? Again, I'm not saying be okay with posting things live on social media. I'm not saying that. I understand the safety hazards in that. But that's a conversation you need to have with this 17-year-old young lady. Not think everything that she is doing is some kind of scheme between her and her mama. What could they possibly get from you? Like, what could it be? Her recording things and all of that stuff. What could she possibly receive from you as a 17-year-old? You're already on the hook for certain things, so what is it that they could actually be looking for? It's not like you owe the mama some alimony or some shit, I wouldn't think, What are we talking about here? Are you hiding resources from them? None of it makes sense.
So you were planning on doing all this recording, all this love and hip hop bullshit at my house too, huh? It's fucked up when a woman, and you men, if a woman turn their kids against you, then you leave them goddamn kids with the woman. They are their mama's children. Because see, one thing the devil busy on, see, that devil, when that devil know you goddamn just keeping your head down and doing your thing, see, that devil will try to stop. That devil will try to stop you in your tracks.
Why is he so paranoid to say that the mama has turned the kids against him? In what way were any of those actions he's talking about proof that this child was in some way turned against him? What is it that you were doing that she could record that would be used against you? That doesn't make sense.
From completing your mission and stand on your purpose. But see, regardless of what these devils do, in real life though,
All right, so he's talking about other stuff now. He's done talking about his broken, by his own choice, relationship with his own child that he's throwing under the bus, saying she got horsehair, saying it's some love and hip hop scene, all of that nonsense, right? So, unhealed parent, y'all. An unhealed parent, like we said, is the child's first enemy, and he is definitely unhealed. He is being an enemy to his children, being paranoid about them for no good reason. And there just seems to be other people who he doesn't seem to have the same types of feelings for, and I don't seem to understand why he would have this feeling for his own flesh and blood, but then when it comes to others, he's, all over the place. So let's do a quick segue. We're going to share the Triple S video I was talking to y'all about. Let's take a look at this real quick.
Hey guys, so just in case you weren't aware of what a terrible world we live in, I've already been mispigmented 5 times this morning, and it's only 10:30 a.m. I was at the grocery store, I was checking out. This cashier says to me, "Are you a white guy that's wearing a do-rag?" And I said, "Excuse me, bigot? Did you just call me white?" I was literally shaking. I was like, I'm a transracial black man. And transracial black men are black men. And it's just, it's so sad that I have to explain this basic fact to people, that white people that were assigned the wrong skin pigmentation at birth can reconcile that skin pigmentation with their racial identity. And transracial black men are black men. I don't know what's so hard for people to understand about that. So I'm just really frustrated right now. Let me know what you think in the comments. Peace.
Yeah, shout out to Triple S. Shout out to Triple S on that one there, y'all. That's an old one, actually. She's had that one up for a little while. But I don't know that I caught that one whenever she dropped it. But that one's been up for, let's see, I don't know the date on it. It's been up for a little while, though. And I don't know that I caught that one. It's under her shorts. Like I said, y'all make sure y'all go over there and check out her latest video, though. Under videos, she has one. It's called Miss Cleo Thoughts. New series coming this fall. That that video right there is a good one, y'all. Y'all definitely got to make sure y'all check that one out. So we're going to do one more video, and then y'all know exactly who we're talking about, and we're going to get into our next reaction. So shout out to Roll Rich.
Sure we ain't missed nothing. Look, that's not on my record. Look, that's not on my record. That's not on my record. Look, probation violation. Go down. Guilty. I want to go down. Son. Probation violation. Guilty. Look. Go down. I want to go down. Son. Please. Clip. Guilty. These broke YouTubers. Please. Go down. I want to go down. Son. What date was that? 1/8. Then we see the whole page. Assault third. Go down. Guilty. Guilty. Go down. Son. Guilty. Guilty. Literally on there. Guilty. Call a lawyer. Like, yo, I think guilty. Giving me a bad name to masses. Guilty. House, Emily Street. Right? That's my mother. Shout out to my mom. She died. Look, that's not on my record. These broke YouTubers. Look, that's not on my record. These broke YouTubers. Look, that's not on my record. 10/13. These broke YouTubers. 99, right here. This date 10/13/99. We guilty. Go down. 10/13/99, so it's not two separate charges, it's the same charge. So you got right here, broke YouTubers, 99, guilty. That's that unlawful restraint you talking about. Now, so since you wanted to know what that was, right, son? I go down, guilty. You know this happened when I go down. Let's make sure we ain't miss nothing. Guilty.
Shout out to Roll Rich for that banger. Shout out to Roll Rich. Yeah, we got to give credit where credit is due. That's still a banger. It's been one for a long time now, and hey, I'm glad the brother allows me to use that video as well. So shout out to Roll Rich. All right, so y'all know who we're gonna talk about now. We're gonna review again. We got a couple videos to review. They're not too long, only a couple minutes each. And we just want to see a difference in relationship. Again, we're talking about relationships here. We just showed a father-daughter relationship, one that's pretty estranged, to say the least, but a father-daughter relationship none the least. And it's just a messed up one that maybe one day down the road it'll see some kind of resolve. But I mean, he said he hasn't really been in the child's life all along, so I don't know why she would even really want to go that direction. Jose Luis Gotcha, salute. Steady grinding, salute. So let's review a video real quick that's just showing a difference in, again, not romantic. Well, I mean, it could be romantic, but I'm not calling this one specifically a romantic relationship. Some people may beg to differ, but let's just see a difference in how people are treated in reference to the situation that we kind of just witnessed with the father and daughter, right?
Would have got his vehicle to explode, it really would have been motherfuckers fucked up. Like it's almost to the point where you can't trust like big events like that. Outside of like a Super Bowl or like a stadium where they're gonna have super security, I'm not going, man. I don't even like going to clubs like that no more. I don't trust shit, nigga. Fuck that. I damn sure don't go on these.
What kind of bad, like, karmic life are these people living that they feel like they can't go anywhere without feeling like they're going to be in some kind of danger? Like, I don't want to live like that, where I feel like everywhere that exists out there that's a public forum, I'm in some kind of danger. I mean, just what are you doing out here in these streets? Are you creating that many enemies that you feel like you have to look over your shoulders all the time? Because, for example, if you go to some major event and there's a mass terror event that happens there, okay, nobody knew that shit was going to happen. If you're caught up in it, you're not going to probably know it any fucking ways, right? You know what I'm saying? Hopefully it wouldn't be any suffering or anything. But what is it about him that makes him feel like he's always going to be in some kind of danger? Always looking over his shoulders. He got a lot of bad karma out here in this world, man. Wabbit Patrol Crime Cam Watch, salute. Yeah, I don't know what it is about him that makes him feel like he had all this bad karma out there in the world like that.
Holidays.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I like
man, your boy is back at it, man.
Man, he always talk about me every day, and they want to say, why am I saying something? Why I get up on your... Every time he open his mouth, that motherfucker say, biz, biz, biz. I'm tired of that dude, bro.
Every time he says something about me, he got to say, you want Biz and them to film you and have a recording of you, but you don't want your daughter to film you. Nigga, Biz didn't take no picture of no restaurant we about to go into and send it to somebody.
Biz didn't even have his phone.
Biz
remember that,
have his
KB?
phone with him.
I left my phone in the car. You asked me why I do it.
Facts.
So, I don't know what kind of men y'all are out there. And ladies, I don't know, what kind of women y'all are out there. But I'm a grown-ass man. Pay phone bill, all that shit. So, I'm not leaving my fucking phone in the car because he feels like he needs that for respect. Fuck out of here. Fuck all the way the fuck out of here. Again, I'm not going to be posting live where we are or anything like that, but I'm not leaving my phone in the car because he feels like he needs that out of for respect. Hell to the no. We're not doing that. But you see, he has fanboys that are just waiting and willing to bow down for him. Waiting to just bow down. And hold on, I gotta mention this. I mentioned it earlier in Sis chat, and I gotta mention this again. For the life of me, y'all, and I may be mentioning this a little bit early, but it's on my brain right now, so I got to mention it now. Why does that predator always have an avatar of his son? Why is it always a picture of his son on his avatar? My question is he still out here trying to catfish people into believing he is younger than he is, like trying to catfish young girls? Because he has a bunch of different pictures. It's this picture here. It's the picture where he's shooting the ball, but it's a bunch of pictures of his son. They're not pictures of him. I don't know that I've ever seen an avatar that he has had that has been a picture of him. It's always a picture of his son or that stupid little Bitcoin thing. But why is he having these pictures of his son as his avatar on YouTube? I had the same problem when whenever Anthony was y'all know King Marvin Anthony, he was going around and saying shit with that Ronald Jones avatar. It's one thing if you're trolling and you're doing that, but it's another thing if you are speaking as yourself but behind the avatar of someone else. I just feel a way about that. And especially with a predator like him, known for trying to get at young girls, why does he have a picture of a young boy as his avatar on YouTube? Why not a picture of himself? If he's him and that guy and all of that shit, that bugged me. It still bugs me, and I don't understand it. It seems like he's trying to, still catfish some young girls or something. He's known for doing that type of stuff, so he just needs to put up a picture of himself, put up a picture of that old ass Benz or whatever the fuck he wants, but not pictures of young boys. Young boy pictures is not what his picture should be, his son or otherwise.
Real nigga shit.
That's the truth, man. I'm running up on him. What I look like taking his location and all that. I know all these people don't like him. What I'm doing that for?
But see, Just Jay, that comment you made right there, that's my actual problem with it. You said that's funny because people really thought Ant was Ronald Jones. That's my problem with it. It's again, if he is trolling and he is, say, talking in a different voice, so he is talking, acting like he's Ronald Jones, but he ain't got a Ronald Jones picture up there, but maybe a different name, like we see Flip do and, a bunch of people do when they're doing their voice impersonations and stuff. That's one thing. But when you're going around and you're you, but it's somebody else's avatar, that's the thing that kind of gets to me a little bit. So, again, it's just a personal thing. That's just the way I feel about it, but,
And then the video that they saw that Mob did, it was a recording. Mob recorded it on his camera and put that together and then released it. That wasn't no real-time shit.
So I don't know if any of y'all heard in the last video whenever Kwame's talking about his daughter taking the pictures and stuff like that. I didn't ever hear him say that she posted anything real time. He says she's taking pictures as they walked into the restaurant. She was recording him in the car. None of that means live streaming or posting or anything like that. Tayward, yo, salute, homie. So, I mean, just a lot of people jump to conclusions over there, and then they're willing to run right along with the narrative that was never even stated.
Yeah, we didn't even know about it until y'all was done with the shit.
And guess who told him to do it? Who told him to?
I don't know what just happened, but listen to Biz want credit for being a fanboy and telling somebody else to be a fanboy.
Me.
Bingo.
Yeah. My daughter was recording me in the car. I didn't say nothing to her about recording me in the car, but I'm like, why are you taking pictures of this building?
Why wouldn't she take pictures of a nice restaurant she's walking into? Most people do that. When they're walking into a nice restaurant, they maybe never been to it before, they take pictures because they going to post that shit on the gram later.
And she was like, oh, I do that everywhere I go and with my mom and all that. I'm like, whoa. I understand you might do that with your mom, but I don't do that. Like, we're not taking pictures of current locations. And I said, if you do that, that's a bad habit. You need to get out of that.
So he didn't say none of that on the first video. Now he got Biz and him up there. He's saying this stuff. But when he was in Sea Salt, posting up, live, know where he is and all that stuff. Whole bunch of places he's gone to and posted himself there. Solstice, good evening to you. There's a whole bunch of places he's gone to and posted himself there live. Or taking pictures and posted it on his, wall or something like that. So he's a hypocrite. He just went into that situation with animosity towards the daughter, wondering why she wanted to go with him and all of that. So everything that she did, he was going to be skeptical of. He couldn't wait to leave her.
You know, all I could think about when you was talking about that was P&B Rock when his
Bruh.
when they
That
was
was
putting the
who?
location at P&B Rock,
B&B,
the
bruh.
rapper that
Right.
they
Fanboys is looking to agree with them.
was putting his location up wherever he was going, and people was, and that could lead to disaster. But hopefully, man, you could figure that out with your baby girl, man, because life is precious, man. And I think that maybe she's doing that for the gram, or doing that for
That's what I was
maybe
about to
like
say.
to do it for social media
Like
or
some
something like
cool
that,
points and
trying to
shit.
show, yeah, trying to show where she at. She probably doesn't understand where you coming from with it. That's just
No, I know exactly what she's doing it for.
See, they didn't said the exact reason why she is more than likely doing it, because that's why most teenage girls take pictures of the restaurants they're going to. He just don't want to have the conversation because he wants to say that the baby mama put her up to something.
I know
oh
exactly what she's doing it for. But me and you'll talk about it offline. But it's a
yeah.
shame, man. I tell you what, some of these women are a trip though, boy. That's all I can tell you.
I'm telling you, boy, these boys hate women.
Oh, so yeah, you know your relationship better than me, but I was just maybe giving you a different point of view. But
Yeah.
still though, it's not good to
He don't have no relationship with the girl. He said that in the first video.
videotape your current location and where you at. Like you said, when we did that when Mob did that shit for his page, he didn't put that video out till 2-3 days later.
At no point in time did Kwame say the girl was posting, live streaming, any of this stuff. He said she was recording and taking pictures. That's all he said. He said she sent the picture to somebody, but he said she was recording and she was taking pictures.
We made
But
sure
you
you
know,
looked at it.
these
We
guys
made sure
they
you
know
seen it
everything.
first. Yeah, well, no, he made sure you looked at it, you seen it first, you approved of whatever he put out before he put it out. And people don't have no respect, bro. The first KB, the first time I pulled up on you, nobody even knew I pulled up on you, bro.
Yeah. See,
Fanboy.
my people that I was with, I recorded the whole situation because I already knew. Man, listen, I knew something was up when she was like, "Oh no, you." Because normally I was just coming in to get baby girl. Like me and baby girl rock out every time I come down there. It was just a one little boom.
Bro, Rich, that's exactly what I was saying earlier. She should take pictures to keep memory of the few times her dad came to kick it with her. All them niggas making up for lost time. That's exactly what I said, Ro Rich. Because he already said he basically didn't have no relationship with this girl growing up. So I was like, she might have just been trying to capture some of the actual time she got to spend with him. DJ Cleveland, what's up? That's exactly what I was saying. She probably might have just been trying to capture that. But again, most girls take pictures and they gonna post that shit on the gram. Maybe not right then, but he could have had that conversation with her instead of trying to be a disciplinarian to a child he didn't even really help raise.
Let me call baby girl, but
He might as well be stepdaddy at this point in terms of how much he raised her. Like coming in way the fuck after the fact and try to tell her what to do. And she's 17.
I think that iPad I got her the last time I was down here, it pissed off the other babies because, you know, my baby mama tried to pin me off to be this deadbeat. But my thing is, I respect what respect me.
Yep.
And it's just simple as that. I don't disrespect my daughters. I don't disrespect nobody. But
He disrespected his daughter, bringing this shit to YouTube, saying that she got horsehair and love and hip hop, and then leaving her at the fucking restaurant. All of that was disrespect of his daughter for the public to see.
like I said, I respect what respect me. And that
Right.
child wasn't really talking and wasn't really saying nothing to me. And then so her mom was like, no, you can't get the other daughter unless you take this one with you. And I'm like, wait a minute now.
Oh,
She was like, nah,
That's the red flag.
yeah. So I started.
Listen at these punk motherfuckers. Instead of telling him that he probably should work on building his relationship with the child that hasn't been going with him, they pointing out red flags and shit. No, build a fucking relationship with the child. How about you do that? How about you be an adult and build a relationship with the child? No, that's the red flag. That's the red flag. You got to cut that off. What the fuck?
Immediately recording. I said, so I gotta. You said, and I gotta take her with, or take the baby with me.
Yeah, you can't come pick her up. So I'm like, all right. It wasn't 10 minutes later, all this shit was going down.
So now I understand why you looking at it the way you looking at it.
Because I know the play they running. I know before they started this dumb shit they doing.
Hey, Kwam, I ain't seen you react to the nigga in a minute, but
So they always looking for some play to be run. That's basically the end of that, right? Always looking for some play to be run. Always think somebody is out to get them. Again, how much bad karma have you put out here in this world that you always have to look over your shoulder, that you are always thinking that somebody is out to get you, including your own child, who may just wanted to spend some time with you, but I see now why she may not want to ever spend time with you, because you abandoned her at a fucking restaurant and you treat her like shit. You try to lay down law and rules and shit on a 17-year-old young woman who you have not been in the life of. And the first time she comes around you, what do you fucking do? You abandon her at a restaurant. Again, who is she supposed to call? When she needs a man to come through for her because she got a boyfriend that's treating her like shit, beating her ass, and put her out, and she need a man to come through, who the fuck is she supposed to call? Because I don't see why she would ever call you. You abandoned her at a fucking restaurant in front of all those white people, as you say. So who is she supposed to call? I don't understand your logic or the logic of any of those fuckers over there who are talking about that's a red flag. So they're promoting you not being an adult and trying to build a relationship with your daughter. That's what they're doing. And you're falling right into it because they fucking hate women.
The meeting is now in order. We all know that the McGillicuddy girls gave a party the other day, and not one of us was invited. Now, what do you say if we form a new club and call it the He-Man Woman Haters Club? Now, I think we ought to have a president. Now, the man we elect must be the worst woman hater of us all. So I nominate Alfalfa because he hates women. Frankie, what's this all about? Alfalfa, we've just formed a new club and elected you president. In the first place, what shall I say? Tell them about the rules. First of all, the rules of this club must be obeyed. Spike, come here. I now elect you Sergeant at Arms and present you with the official paddle. Thanks, pal. And any man who breaks the rules of this club shall get 5 swats from my pal. And I'm just the guy that can do it, too. By the way, Spanky, what am I president of? Why, the He-Man Woman Haters Club. And what are the rules? No man is to be seen with girls. You can't look at them, you can't walk with them, you can't talk with them, and you can't even write letters to them.
I'm not gay, I'm not gay, I'm not gay. You know what? Fuck it, dude. I'm gay as shit. Let's do gay shit, man. Crazy gay shit, subtle gay shit, all the gay shit, man.
Yeah. You know, they hate women, so they just like doing a bunch of gay shit together. Shout out to Roll Rich on that $2 super chat. He said, got to get back my spot, capo shit. Salute to you, Roll Rich. Appreciate you, bro. Shout out to the chat, everybody who hit that like button. All right, so we got one more short video to review here. Donkey Green 1, salute to you, bro. Same subject, but different perspective again. So let's go real quick.
That's why I just put something on there. Wrote some shit on there. About y'all situation.
What I was about to say was that why would he even be taking pictures of 86K when they was chilling? I thought they were supposed to be cool then. See what that means? That means he been plotting.
And Roger said, got to get my spot back, capo shit. I got you. What's the word, JB2 reaction? Salute to you, bro. Appreciate you coming through.
The whole entire time to do this fuck shit. When I met up with KB, I left my phone in the car. All right.
Again, so this is another panel, and he's talking about being a damn fanboy.
I had to ask KB what time it was. He was like, yo, where your phone at?
Where that fucking watch you bragged about? Why you gotta ask him what time it was? That's 16. Oh, that's some shade. No, he had a watch on too. That watch don't fucking work. Where the fuck was your watch? Why the hell you gotta ask him what time it is?
I was like, bro, my shit in the car. I don't even want you thinking I'm doing no cruddy shit behind your back. Why you
fanboy? So you telling me you can't have your phone on your person and not do shit that a person will consider you not doing something behind their back? Get the fuck out of here, bro. You are not a grown man. Ain't no other fucking grown man about to tell me what I can't bring my phone with me up in there. Like we just going fucking to a restaurant and shit. He got his phone, but I can't bring mine. Get the fuck out of here. Are you crazy? Motherfucker, you got kids. What if your kids needed you? What if your baby mama needed to call you because there was an emergency with your kid? Oh, I'm with KB. I can't have my phone right now. Get the fuck out of here. Are you crazy?
Maybe doing something over here, doing something over there. Nah, bro, it ain't that type of party. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to catch you in no compromising photos or nothing and then bring them back to the internet later. Why?
What the fuck would he be doing that would be a compromising photo? That's what I continue to not understand. Him having all of the problem with his daughter taking pictures and videos. What is it that he was going to be doing that was going to be a problem for his daughter to see? Steve A, salute to you, bro. What was it? What was she going to capture in those pictures or video that it was going to be a problem for her or anybody else to see? What was it that Biz was going to get that was going to be compromising photos? What? So you can't have your phone at all because he might think you're going to take a photo of him? Get the fuck out of here, man. He could have had his phone. Right, that's what I'm saying, Roach. He could have had his phone in his pocket the whole time. But, hey, fuck you, man. If I need to use my fucking phone, I'm going to use my fucking phone. What are we talking about here? They're crazy as hell.
Why the fuck would this nigga even taking pictures of this nigga?
But
State drunk down so did that shit.
Got to expect Kwame to think that.
Got to expect Kwame to think that. So you got to expect Kwame to think that somebody's going to be doing something nefarious with their phone. If they happen to have their phone in the presence of him, they got to be taking pictures of him or doing something that's getting him in a compromising position. What the fuck kind of compromising position are you going to be in a restaurant? Unless you doing some shit you ain't got no business doing. But guess what? There's a whole bunch of other people in there that got their phones. So what point are we making here, Biz? If Kwame did something and y'all was in that restaurant with all them other people and it was something compromising, somebody else in that motherfucker was going to get a picture of it or a video of it. So what are we doing? You just sound like a stupid ass fanboy. Not a man at all. Because I will be damned if motherfucker gonna be like, you can't bring your phone. Okay, then, all right, I ain't fucking going then. You ain't cutting me off from fucking society just to be or hang out with you, have a drink with you. Get the fuck out of here. Who are you? Who the fuck are you? Man, they be treating this dude, man, I don't understand it. I do not understand how they consider themselves men and treat themselves the way they do around this less than a man to me. So we see the relationship that the giraffe has with his flesh and blood daughter. We see the relationship he has with this person that we know to be a predatory fucking sex offender, right? Well, before we get into one more video on this subject with the idiot ass giraffe thinking that this predator sex offender is going to be vindicated. Casino, leaving your phone in the car for a man is crazy. Yeah, Casino, leaving your phone in the car for another man is crazy as hell. I don't get that at all. But real quick, before I move on, okay, hold on, Roll Rich. Let me drop the link real quick for Roll Rich. I'm gonna drop the link for Roll Rich real quick, and then I'm gonna move into one more thing, and then after that one more thing, I'll actually pin the link for everybody to come up. But let's see what Roll Rich got to say. Salute, bro.
Hey, yo, you said the loud part too low, my nigga. I just wanted to reiterate what you just said.
Okay.
What would he be doing that was compromising, my nigga? What kind of shit was y'all about to go do that you know that if you had your phone and took a picture, people would judge y'all a certain type of way? It sounded like he was in fear or something. You feel me? Like you had to know that y'all was about to go do some bullshit. Like if I'm about to go run down on a nigga, that's the only reason why I'm gonna leave my phone somewhere. You know why? Because the phone got GPS data and shit like that. Now I don't want them niggas to know that I was over there running down on some shit. You feel me? But whatever y'all niggas is into. Hey yo, you know what's crazy? I want you to think about this, right? I follow Gilbert Arenas, right? And he posted a video of this nigga having a conversation with a woman on a live, and he didn't realize it was happening. And that's the type of shit that he worried about. You know, you remember, right? You remember that video?
The girl he was trying to get
they was in the background. He was talking to her in the background and shit. And he was trying to get. That's the type of shit he's scared of.
Right.
That's why. That's the type of shit that they be doing. That they don't. They want to make sure the phones is put away. You know what I mean? Just pay attention to these. And I wanted to say something else too about the daughter shit, right? Like I'm not even comfortable talking about my kids' achievements on here with these weirdos, nigga.
You're right.
Like I don't even feel comfortable.
You barely talked about that shit. You was like, I got to go to duty graduation, but that was about all we heard about it.
I'm not comfortable around these niggas talking about my children, bro.
You right.
You understand what I'm saying? Because, and especially on the bad shit, I'm definitely not gonna disrespect my child and talk about horsehead and all of that shit. Like, bro, it's a different level of respect you have for the people that you share the same blood with, bro.
One would think.
Like I don't even be wanting to argue with Sis, and we don't even share the same blood. This is just a friend of mine. Like I was taught at a young age that family business is family business. Strangers are not supposed to be involved in family business.
Facts.
If he called his mother and said, the child's mother, and said all those things he said on the internet, nobody should give a fuck.
Yep.
You feel me? But going on the internet and saying, and then you got these groupie niggas putting in their 2 cents like they related to the nigga.
Right.
Like, well, I didn't do this, but nigga, you ain't his kid.
Exactly.
He ain't making up for lost time with you, nigga. He making up for lost time with them, nigga. You could leave your phone, but his kid got the phone and want to capture these moments that are scarce, that don't happen often.
Exactly. Right. Like I said, if he taking her to a nice ass restaurant she don't go to that often, she want to see pictures of that shit. That shit is going on the gram later. Just like every other young girl does. What the fuck are we talking about?
And the crazy thing is, just like most young girls, that nigga probably ain't even in the picture. I take my daughter out and she'll take pictures of everything except for us, except for me.
She
wants to capture the moment.
Posted up in the front of the restaurant like she took herself there.
He'd be like, Dad, take a picture of me. Like, what about me? Let's get a stranger to take a picture of us, motherfucker. You feel me?
The picture? She's like, all right, I'm
gonna. He's like, nah, these are my memories. These are mine. And I understand, but see, I'm with my daughter all the time, so I know I understand the behaviors of a teenage girl. Right. You know what I mean? I understand that it's all about her right now, and I don't mind that. You know what I mean? But as a nigga that's not around, he not gonna understand that.
And the thing is, your daughter got a whole bunch of actual real fucking memories with you. So she don't need to capture a video of that shit because she got the real shit that's all through her brain.
All the time, consistently.
Right. That's what I was saying. He said he barely even spend any time with this child. So she probably had no memories with him. Now she's 17, basically a young woman at this point, you know, starting to make adult decisions and shit. And he want to instill all this discipline in her and treat her like she's somebody's child. You know, you can't treat her like she your child when you haven't been the fucking person raising her for 17 years. But now
And it's
she's
crazy
your child.
because at 17, he might be a day too late.
Right.
You got to instill the fear of you and your children at a young age, man.
Mm-hmm.
As a father, I've instilled the fear of my children in me from since they were small, so I never got to raise my hand to them. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
My looks and my words are enough to get them to do what I need them to do.
Right.
Because I instilled the fear in them at a young age.
Absolutely.
I made them feel like if I raise my hand, it's the worst thing that could ever happen because I never want to do that. I made them understand that that is not my objective. It's never to put my hands on y'all, so y'all need to listen.
Yep. My dad, he told me a story. He only remembers whooping me one time. I only remember it. That's how young I was. He said, I like fucking got lost like in a store or some shit like that. And, you know, had my mom fucking all hysterical and shit, you know, this back in the fucking early 80s. Huh?
You brought that shit on yourself?
No, facts. But that was the last time he needed to do that shit is the point. You know?
And what's crazy is he probably beat you out of worry, my nigga. Like, you can't do this no more, bro. Look at us. Look what you did to us. You feel what I'm saying? Oh, nigga scared somebody could have abducted you. He's fucking, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, never hit your children out of anger, my nigga. And these niggas get angry, bro.
Yep. So, yeah. But, hey, salute to you, bro. Absolutely. I agree with all the shit you saying, all the stuff you pointing out in reference to that. And you saying it from a perspective of somebody with children, somebody that does have baby mamas and all of that. So there's no excuse for this idiot and the stuff that he's bringing to the internet.
That's a fact. Look, I'm in multiple different situations, right? I could relate to multiple different men because I've been in multiple different situations with different women. You feel what I'm saying? So as a man, right, I just deal with things the way I deal with things. Because I have all these different situations, I have to be more dialed back and shit like that. You know what I mean? When I'm dealing with these people in my real life, like I might flip and cuss a nigga out on YouTube, but that's on YouTube. In real life, I'm way more dialed back and reserved because I don't want to fuck these relationships up. Because I got good relationships with my kid's mother and shit like that. Because I realized I could be like him, angry at the mother and accusing her of all these things without proof because we have a bad relationship. But I fostered good relationships with these women.
You said the key word there about 4-5 times, relationships, because that's what we're talking about here, relationships talk. And it's all about the fact that you have made sure that you did whatever you needed to do, whether that is change your approach, because each one of them women is different. Each one of them children are different. So whether it's you modeling your approach differently with each one of them or whatever it is you needed to do, you did what you needed to do to ensure that you continue to foster and make that relationship a positive one. Because it was important for, you know, you to have a relationship with your child and for y'all to co-parent that child in a healthy way, you know, not with two parents that's fucking at each other's throat and shit like that all the time.
And that's when you got a partner that realizes that, that's the key. You feel me? When you got a woman that you're dealing with, baby mother, y'all could be not together or together, or however it is, but both of y'all realize the most important thing is the child. Then there's no way that anything could be fucked up between that. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, we're not dealing with each other for each other. We're dealing with each other for with this one common goal, to raise a person greater than us. And then you got to be able to sit down with the woman and tell her these things. Like, these niggas can't even communicate with their baby mothers. They got to talk to them through other people and shit like that. Nigga, I could call any one of my baby mothers right now, except for one. But I could call all the rest of them and tell them, like, yo, we had these conversations in the beginning. Like, what's more important to you? Because I want to raise a child greater than the both of us. And once they hear that, they like, I agree. A sound-minded woman would say, you know what? I agree with that. Because I want my child to be in a better situation than I am in. Because I feel the same way. So now we both come together and like, yo, this is what the plan I have. And then she throw the plan out there. I was like, I don't agree with this part of your plan. How about we incorporate some of it? And as adults, we sat and we worked this shit out. And everybody can't do that. And I understand, because relationships involve feelings and feelings get hurt. And when feelings get hurt, people hold grudges. Cool, right? But when a nigga's going to grow up and understand that shit could be put to the side for the greater goal, the greater good. That's all I'm saying. Yo, the tequila be making a nigga go, bro. I'm like, let me let you continue. I know you got shit you do. It's my day off. I'm enjoying myself. I'm enjoying the content. And I listen, that's why I'm saying these things, because I'm listening to you. And this is a great subject because I'm a parent, bro. And it's a relationship. You have to have relationships with your baby mothers and your children. And relationships are key. You feel me? You got to formulate a process in which you can foster the relationship, because it's like defensive driving, right? So I'm a firm believer in application, and I'm gonna say this before I go, right?
Yep.
Everything that you learn doesn't only apply to one thing, right?
Right.
So I use defensive driving in my life for other things besides defensive driving, because they say something in defensive driving that matters to me a lot. Sometimes you got to think for yourself and others, right? That means a lot to me. That I apply to my whole entire life. So like, say me and one of my baby mothers is having a conversation and she might be incorrect about something. It is not necessary to always point out someone's incorrections. That causes issues. We could just move forward, and a little later, I could recorrect that. You feel what I'm saying? And we could make that, because you don't want to argue. You want to talk. You want to have a conversation in which both people are trying to understand each other.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And when you have that, then you always gonna be good. You feel what I'm saying? So remember application, everybody. Just because you learn something for one thing, don't mean you can't apply it to something else.
Absolutely. That's the whole thing of us learning from our experiences, you know, all the different experiences you've had, whether it be a relationship or otherwise, you still learn things from that you can apply in all different areas of life. I mean, these relationships that we're having, and that's why the whole thing I'm saying, all of these different episodes I'm doing, the title's Relationship Talk. But you see, yeah, we started talking about marriages and stuff like that. Now we're over here talking about a father and daughter, and we're talking about people who are essentially don't know each other like that, but are groupies of one another. That's another relationship, because they seem to have a stronger bond than the father and daughter that we're talking about right now. So, hey.
That's like a one-way Yagathon relationship, if you ask me, because there's nothing but men, bro. That shit crazy. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good show. I'm going back to the chat, man.
Okay, salute to you, bro. Appreciate Roll Rich for coming up, man. Shout out to Roll Rich, y'all. Shout out to Cashapp too on that $20 super chat. Yeah, shout out to Cashapp, y'all.
Money, money, money. Money on money.
Shout out to Cashapp on that $20 super chat. She said, salute Iceberg Thoughts, doing the Lord's work. I appreciate you, Cashapp. And she also said that she's preparing for a family member funeral and stopping by to say hello. So be blessed, Cashapp. Sorry that you have to go to a funeral, but be blessed. I appreciate you coming through, and I definitely appreciate that super chat. So shout out to Cashapp on that super chat, y'all. Shout out to Jimmy McFly, a.k.a. Hemi McFly Media in the building. Yo, salute to you, bro. Appreciate you. Shout out to Roll Rich. Shout out to Roll Rich. Giving that perspective. It's a perspective that I can't give y'all. I don't have baby mamas, you know. I don't have that perspective to give you. But he gave you that perspective and did it from someone who does have, you know, children with other women out there, some that he gets along with great and they make it work, and you know, maybe one that not as great, but still they're doing what they got to do to make it work, right? Shout out to Jose Luis Gotcha on that $4.99 super chat. Let me get on the screen. He said, greatest topic, Iceberg. I appreciate you, Jose. Shout out to Jose, y'all. Y'all don't know, me and Jose started off on the wrong foot, but, you know, it was all misunderstanding, you know, 100% misunderstanding. Maybe me jumping to conclusions. I'll take the blame. How about that? I'll say I jumped to conclusions, and it was all misunderstanding. But me and Jose good. Now, shout out to Jose, y'all. Shout out to Jose. So, real quick, we're going to have another video, but real quick, before we get into that, I wanted to... So Sis, he almost spoiled my show, y'all. Y'all know I had this show planned since like Sunday, and Sis almost spoiled my show today. He started going over something. I said, this motherfucker done read my damn mind. He's about to do my show right now. So, but he didn't. So let me show y'all something. And this is for the people who want to learn, you know. I know everybody don't come to learn all the time, but hey, I'm of the learning nature, you know. I like to learn things. And so what we're going to do really quickly, it's not going to take us long, is look at something. I want you to show y'all a comparison. See, because a lot of y'all have become very familiar with the restrictions that apply to sex offenders in certain states. But what a lot of people may not know is that is all very much state by state. Each state has their own laws and restrictions on how they treat sex offenders. So we're going to start in Virginia because that's where a lot of people are familiar with, right? So let me see here. Which one did I want to show y'all? Okay. So yeah, we're going to start in Virginia. This is what a lot of y'all are familiar with. So the AI overview actually does a really good job of putting this stuff into a good summary. I've looked at the Joshua Hawkins salute. I've looked at the actual statutes and stuff, but the AI overview does a really good job of putting it into a summary. So in Virginia, sex offenders are classified into 2 tiers, violent and non-violent. So we know for Predator 101, he fell into that non-violent tier, right? So it says the violent tier includes those who are convicted of sexually violent offenses or murder where the victim was under 15 or under 18 and the murder was related to a sexual offense. So it wasn't that for him. His wasn't considered violent or any of that. The non-violent tier includes all other registerable sex offenses and some manslaughter cases involving child abuse or neglect. So falls into the same category of people who have a manslaughter case in some instances of child abuse and neglect. So it could be some pretty damn bad people in that situation. Yeah, I'm saying, man, what up? Non-violent offenders must register for at least 15 years. We are all well aware of that now with Predator 101 being around here, the 15-year thing. He stayed on for 18 years, but it was just time for him to get off the list. He's making it like they took him off the list. No, it was time for him to get off. After 15 years, you can file. He stayed on 18. So they're like, all right, boom, you had a non-violent offense. You can get off. That's the way it works in Virginia, you know? We can go a little bit deeper into it. And let me see here. Which one is it? This one here. All right. So in this area, it tells you about the restrictions, right? So in Virginia, registered sex offenders face restrictions on where they can live and be near certain schools, particularly those frequented by children. Specifically, they are prohibited from residing or being within a certain distance of schools, daycare centers, and places where children commonly gather. Halima, welcome back. All right, so going deeper into the let's see here. Where is it? Hold on, y'all. All right, here we go. So again, Virginia law restricts sex offenders from living near schools, daycare centers, or places where children frequently visit. Sex offenders are prohibited from being within 100 feet of the premises of a school, daycare center, or places where children congregate, especially for when the purpose is to have contact with children who are not in their custody. So basically, if it's not your child, then you ain't got no business within 100 feet of any of those places. You might be able to get away with it if you have your child. He's not the violent one. The tiers. So again, this is Virginia. We've gone through the Virginia stuff on a lot of other people's panels. That's not the whole point of me bringing y'all through this, right? I just wanted to show y'all that just as the refresher, right? So why are we doing that? Because let's look at some other states, right? For example, let's look at Connecticut. Let's say, hypothetically, the young lady in Connecticut, the 19-year-old young lady who he raped and got away with it, actually got her wish. And he was forced to register because he was, convicted of the crime that he committed against her, right? So in Connecticut, registered sex offenders face several restrictions, particularly regarding where they can live and work. And they also have specific registration requirements. All right, so it doesn't talk about kids or schools so much yet, right? So it's like interesting, a little different. While there isn't a blanket residency restriction, hold up, no blanket registry. So sex offenders in Connecticut can live any fucking where they want. Right next to the school, they can probably live in that motherfucker. Offenders on community supervision, probation, or parole must reside in locations approved by their supervising officers. So a parole or probation officer can tell certain people where to live, but other than that, they can live wherever the fuck they want, or a court can impose residency restrictions. So it sounds like there's only certain situations that they're going to tell somebody they can't live near a school in Connecticut. Otherwise, they don't give a fuck. No blanket registry restrictions. Does not have a statewide ban on sex offenders living near schools, parks, etc. Damn. So what do they have to do? They have to file an email address. An email address? You know how easy it is to get a damn email address? So they have to file an email address, though that requirement is currently under legal challenge, and confirm their home address every 3 months. All right, so every 3 months, they got to confirm their home address. They do not require notification when they move, though some proposed legislation would change that. Hold up. Connecticut law does not require, community notification. All right, so we're going to see in another state we're going to cover, in North Carolina, you can get community notification. But in Connecticut, they don't have any of the community notification systems. So y'all just shit out of luck if a sex offender moves into your neighborhood next door to you or next door to the school that you are building. Let's see here. Registration information is confidential and only available to law enforcement and the custodian of records. So they keep these sex offender shit confidential in Connecticut. They're protecting the predators in Connecticut. They're protecting them. Their shit is confidential and only law enforcement can see that shit. Failure to comply with registration requirements can lead to a Class A misdemeanor. Oh my goodness, Connecticut, what are y'all doing? They are slapping motherfuckers on the wrist. So if these motherfuckers don't comply with the registration requirements, they just get a misdemeanor. Heck, money in the building, salute to you, bro. They just get a misdemeanor for failing to fucking comply with registration as a sex offender in Connecticut. That's some bullshit, Connecticut. Non-resident sex offenders who visit Connecticut regularly for less than 5 days must notify the Commissioner of Emergency Services and Public Protection of their temporary residence. So y'all want to know motherfuckers there for 5 days from out of state, but y'all don't give a fuck about the motherfuckers right there in your state living next to the school. They can fucking move and not let you know. And when you catch up with them, they just going to get a fucking misdemeanor. What are we doing? Hey, y'all, get y'all kids out of Connecticut. They don't give a fuck about sex offenses. Get your kids and anybody that's that could be, you know, a susceptible victim to sex offense. Get them the fuck out of Connecticut. Restrictions on living near certain locations make it difficult for sex offenders to find employment. All right, blah, blah, blah. Child custody. When determining child custody or visitation, a judge can grant custody or unsupervised visitation to a registered sex offender only if they determine that the offender possesses no danger to the child. So they just leaving that shit in the hand of a judge and just letting these motherfuckers willy-nilly go in Connecticut, y'all. So had he gotten convicted in Connecticut, yeah, he was in Connecticut first. No, he was in Connecticut first and then he moved to Virginia. So he went backwards, Jose, actually. He went to a more strenuous state when it comes to sex offense. But Connecticut, they let them motherfuckers run wild. Yeah, he exactly, Solstice. He is a predator because of those Connecticut policies. Connecticut wasn't even trying to convict him. They don't give a fuck about sex offense in Connecticut, it seems. Because even if you get convicted of that shit, you ain't got to barely register or tell nobody shit. Yeah, so Connecticut ain't give a fuck. They was going to let him go no matter what. He got down to Virginia and they was like, oh, hell no. I'm glad he didn't come one state further than Virginia because then his ass would have been in North Carolina. But had he come to North Carolina, I just don't want him in the same fucking state as me. That's what I'm saying. But had he come to North Carolina ain't playing that shit. They're not playing that shit. So in North Carolina, registered sex offenders face several restrictions, including residency limitations, prohibitions on certain locations, and employment restrictions. They cannot live within 1,000 feet of a school or child care facility. Virginia only said 100 feet, And Connecticut ain't give a fuck. North Carolina said you got to be a whole 1,000 feet the fuck away from a school. Get the fuck way over there. Carry your ass across the street and down the block, motherfucker. Bye. Don't even be looking at these kids. Get the fuck on. They're also prohibited from being within certain distances of locations primarily used for the care or education of minors, such as playgrounds and schools. Additionally, they face restrictions on employment and volunteer work involving minors. So they cannot live within 1,000 feet of a school or daycare. They cannot be within 300 feet of a daycare, playground, school, or other place primarily used for minors. So they can't live within 1,000 feet of the motherfuckers, and they can't even be within 300 feet of a daycare. Walk your ass around the other way. Cross the street, motherfucker. It's a daycare right there. Go across the street. You said in New York it's 500 feet, heck money. At least, hey, it's better than that Connecticut shit. Connecticut, the motherfuckers gonna live in the school, it seems like. But yeah, you see a daycare coming up and walk across the street, motherfucker. You can't be over here. You too close to the fence. They cannot be employed or volunteer in roles that involve interaction or care with minors. Damn. I've been volunteering in fucking the schools. I started volunteering in schools in like 2001. Back when he was first getting charged with this shit, I was volunteering in the schools. He ain't even fucking allowed to go to the schools here. North Carolina, y'all. Some jurisdictions restrict the use of social media or online platforms that might access minors. Damn. North Carolina ain't fucking with y'all. North Carolina ain't fucking with y'all. Know when they wanted to do that TikTok ban in America and shit, and they was talking about protecting the children and shit like that? Yeah. North Carolina, one of them that's on board with shit like that. They like, you sex offenders, don't bring your ass over here fucking with these babies. Dimitri, you said Georgia's the same on certain holidays like Halloween. They make them report the Civic Center until all the... Ain't that some shit? I love that. I love that right there. Dimitri said, y'all, in Georgia, on certain holidays like Halloween, they make all the sex offenders report to the Civic Center until after all the activities are over. That's what the fuck is up right there. Yeah, get all them motherfuckers together so we know where all of them are at once. Anybody that ain't here, that motherfucker's getting arrested as soon as they show up, unless they got a good excuse. You might be right, Jose. He might be about to move back to Connecticut after hearing this shit. He know he can live right next to fucking children and shit. But damn, they keeping them off of social media platforms in North Carolina. In some jurisdictions, sex offender convictions can lead to a lifetime ban on owning and possessing firearms. Some offenders may be subject to electronic tracking, particularly those classified as recidivists or convicted of aggravated offenses, and they must regularly update registration information. They must regularly update their registration information with law enforcement. So yeah, North Carolina ain't playing that shit. They're not playing that shit. And yeah, I like that comment Dimitri said about them rounding all them motherfuckers up during Halloween and shit like that. Yeah. Shit, first day of school, they need to round all them, make all them motherfuckers come back and register on the first day of school. What did Halima say? Recidivism rates of sex offenders are probably higher in states with light sentences. I definitely believe that. You know what, Halima? Let me make a note, because I'm gonna look that shit up, and that might end up being an episode that's looking at some of these recidivism rates in states like Connecticut and places like that where they have these light ass terms compared to a state like maybe in North Carolina, or there, may even be some other states that have a whole lot harsher laws than what I'm even reading in North Carolina. I just did that based on, of course, I live in North Carolina, its proximity to Virginia, and all of that stuff. But yeah, that is a great point, Halima, and I think that may be worth researching. For real, because people aren't taking it serious. And we're seeing right here on YouTube as a case study that someone who we know is an offender doesn't take it serious at all. He does not take it serious. So there's a whole bunch of them out there, some of the more violent ones who probably are not taking it serious either. Salute, Uncle L. Yeah, some of the violent ones out there are probably not taking it serious either. But yeah, I just wanted to show y'all that real quick. Quick breakdown of the comparison. A comparison between 3 different states of what their laws are, how they treat sex offenders, some of the restrictions and limitations they put on them. Again, North Carolina, they don't want you nowhere near fucking daycares and shit. 300 feet away, carry your ass across the street. I don't care. Connecticut, they almost have 0 restrictions on where they live, go, or anything. So, yeah, I'm definitely gonna look into that, Halima. That's a great subject, and if it's enough information out there, you know, to support a conversation, I definitely plan to have a show about that for sure. All right, one more quick video, and let me drop the link and pin it real quick, just in case anybody does want to come up. I'm gonna do one more quick video, and then we're gonna switch gears. All right. Yeah, we're going to switch gears here in a moment. If I can get this link pinned. There we go. All right. So one more video. What gear we hitting? Yeah, we definitely gonna change gears, and it's gonna turn up. It's gonna turn up. We talking about some kind of somber-ish shit now, but we're gonna change. We're gonna talk about stuff that totally different types of relationships. That is not this type of relationship. Real quick, this video, I want to say it's probably 20 minutes long, but we may not even have to get through the whole thing. We might. It just depends. Come on, where is it? There we go. All right, so here we go. Let's listen to, again, we're talking about relationships. So we had father-daughter. We talked about our relationship with ourselves. We talked about a father-daughter relationship. We talked about relationship between, I guess, celebrities and their fanboys, you know, the groupies or whatever, you know. And now let's talk about we talked about the predators. You know, all of the different restrictions they have. Now let's talk about relationships of predator protectors. Let's listen to a predator protector and, you know, just see. It's comfortable being a predator protector, but not comfortable with the relationship with trying to build a relationship with his 17-year-old daughter.
Yo, yo, yo. Yeah, I wanted to go live. What's up, Evo? Yeah, I wanted to go live without being interrupted, so this can be on record. And we ain't worried about no disrespectful drunk ladies that do the same thing they do on YouTube. I just want to give y'all a news flash.
Starting by disrespecting women, of course, because it's favorite thing to do.
In real life, though, ain't nobody falling for that. I go talk to assistant principals that's females, commissioners, all kind of people that's females, and they don't act like y'all. So the women that tried to get up here and get a sound bite because you disrespecting me.
Him saying he talks to all these people and actually doing it are 2 different things. You never see him talk to any of these people. Spends all his time on YouTube and out, you know, at that tiny house and stuff. When is he doing all this talking to these people that he talks about?
Women, men alike, they know who I am. If you disrespect me, you gonna be disrespected. So we're not doing that. When my brand has been directly involved, not involved, but directly mentioned with SA and Grape and all that crap that they tried to attach my brand to, you goddamn right, I'm coming up on the panel and I'm going to interrupt a dumbass nigga that's trying to deflect, and I'm going to mention what needs to be mentioned. That the reason why they attacked this man is because it's all about who we like. And they don't like me, or they stop liking me.
So when is this guy going to stop being a victim? People attacking Biz is not about Kwame. Just like people attacking Kwame is not about Biz. They're trying to both play it both ways. Kwame is saying the only reason people are attacking Biz is because they don't like Kwame. Biz is saying people are attacking Kwame because of Biz being around and having those charges and stuff. It can't go both ways. People are talking about Biz because of the charges Biz has on his record and the fact that Biz won't take any remorse for the charges he has on his record. He thinks it's all a joke. He likes to lie about it. He says he didn't do anything, and then he comes back and admits he does something, and then he wants to flip-flop back and forth. That's why people are going at Biz. Has nothing to do with Kwame Brown. Now, Kwame decides to continue to attach himself to Biz, so yeah, you're going to be attached to it. You decided to attach yourself to a pedophile, to a predator, to someone you didn't know the real story behind, and now you've attached yourself so much, you're too stubborn to cut him loose. Because you're tied into him with whatever financial stuff and all that stuff y'all are doing. You decided to attach yourself to a predator and pedophile, so yes, he is attached to your brand. You chose to do that.
So that means everybody around me, they start placing narratives on without evidence, without nothing.
There's no narrative placed on Biz. Biz is a predator. Biz is a pedophile. Biz was on that sexual predator list. We all saw him. I looked it up myself. He was on the fucking list when I looked it up, because I looked it up before he got off. I typed his name in on the Virginia Sex Offender Registry, and boom, he popped right the fuck up. Raymond Arterberry, that fucking picture. Is that easy? And I can't unsee that. And I don't give a fuck whether I look it up again now and you're not there. The fact that you were there is all I ever need to fucking see. Ever. I don't need to ever go back and look again. I only needed to look one time. And I looked at one time and I got confirmation that yes, he is on this fucking list. Period.
They attacked this man. They called his job. They tried to get him fired. And then they said Kwame likes to keep guys like that around.
You are keeping them around. I ain't got nothing to do with people calling, trying to get him fired, none of that shit. I ain't got nothing to do with that. But you are keeping him around. And he is the predator that we all see him to be.
A situation that happened years ago.
I don't give a fuck if it happened 50 years ago. An 80-year-old man that raped somebody 50 years ago is still a fucking rapist. Yeah, Jose said murderers get released from prison. They're still fucking murderers. I don't give a fuck when he did it. He did it enough for him to end up on that fucking list. Therefore, he fucking did something. He ended up on that fucking list. I don't care when it was done. It was done. That's all somebody like me needs to know that he's somebody I ain't trying to fuck with.
And newsflash, YouTube and a moderator stick is not a job. For those.
Okay, y'all remember this, because this is going to be coming handy here in a couple minutes. YouTube and a moderator stick is not a job, he says.
Those of you don't know, YouTube is free. You don't get paid to be a moderator. You don't have to come in someone's chat. It is not a workplace. It is a free social media app. And what you guys are turning YouTube into is a joke. What some of these people call content is a joke. Everybody.
My bad. What does what other people are doing as their content have to do with him? What his opinion on what some other people call content is a joke? Well, we all believe what he calls content is a joke. It's fucking Radio Kwame. Him sitting behind an avatar, or him still sitting in that same room that he hasn't changed or upgraded in 5 years, hasn't added any equipment, hasn't done anything. I probably got better equipment than him at this point. And I ain't even been doing it that long, and I haven't, I definitely don't go live nearly as often as him, and I damn sure have not made as much money off of YouTube as him. But I probably still have better equipment than him. Why? Because I like to invest into shit. I like to invest into something I'm trying to be good at.
And anybody see that lady Tamika in any one of my chats, Block her. She is no longer welcome on my channel. If she do come, don't let her on none of my channels. Let her sit over there with the drunk, angry folks that just sit around in life and critique other people and be disrespectful. Stay.
Uncle CKJ, that's what I think he is saying, that social media negates morality. That's what I believe him and a lot of his people believe, is that they don't have to have any morals on social media. They can just do whatever they want, associate with whoever they want, and it's not supposed to be any consequence to it.
That way. Stay that way.
You know, he wants to be the person that complains about having, you know, if there's somebody out there, you got a circle full of goons, your whole circle, your whole crew, everybody that everybody sees you with, them, they stay in and out of jail. They always in fights. They always doing something, you know, run-ins with the law and stuff, right? But you expect everybody that sees you running with this circle of goons to look at you differently, like you the good one. That's what you expect. Everybody in your crew, they all got records. They all do all the despicable shit all day. Everybody sees them do it. Everybody know they do it. They ain't got no shame in it. And you roll with them all day, every day. But you want the neighborhood to look at you like you different. Why? Why? You associate yourself with predators and pedophiles. Why are people supposed to look at you different when you associate that with your brand?
I don't have no time for it. And we're going to get more and more and more short with the negative people that don't know how to have a conversation that's disrespectful, that get online and just get disrespectful, especially if you're a female. We're going to have zero tolerance for that. You hit my panel and you doing all this aggressive talking and you...
Especially if you're a female, y'all. We're going to have zero tolerance for, especially if you're a female. What is wrong with him? Why does he hate women so much? Why does he feel like he has to control women all the time? What is really wrong with him? I mean, I understand this is the reason why he can't keep a woman in his life. You know, he can't actually maintain a real relationship with even his daughter, a woman, a young woman. But especially if you're a female, so the males, they can come up and be disrespectful and say shit and all of that. But if you're a female, oh no, we got zero tolerance for that shit. That's what he's saying?
With the negative people that don't know how to have a conversation that's disrespectful, that get online and just get disrespectful, especially if you're a female. We're going to have zero tolerance for that. You hit my panel and you doing all this aggressive talking and you being disrespectful, but you claim that you won't respect, we're going to have zero tolerance for that. We're getting you out of here quick. In the chat too. We're going to get you up out of here.
So he can't ignore his chat enough. That hurts his feelings, what people say to him in his chat. Especially the females. You know, especially the females. They're going to get him out of the chat. You know, it just hurts his feelings so much, especially these females. He got to control y'all women. I don't understand why any woman that continues to listen to him would continue to follow and support him, especially the ones that have been over there for, you know, a good 4 or 5 years. I don't understand, but I guess I do get it. They suffer from the same exact thing that we were talking about with somebody like a Biz, who is supposed to be a man, but is willing to leave his phone in the car for another man. You know, willing to downgrade himself and put himself down on a lower level for this other man. The women are willing to do the same thing just to say that they're associated with him. I don't know why, because it doesn't benefit them in any way to say they're associated with him, because he's associated with a bunch of fucking despicable people. Criminals and pedophiles and shit like that. So I don't know why they would even want to have themselves associated with him, but they suffer from the same thing that a Biz does. They'll leave all of their dignity, all of their pride, all of anything that makes them a woman. They'll leave all of that to the side to say that they get to associate with him.
So we tired of having this dynamic of certain black women that come around and be disrespectful to black men. And then you guys act as if
Now it's certain black women, y'all. Now it's not just women. I told y'all it always becomes a race thing with him. M Soul, my day one rider in the building. Shout out to M Soul. Now it's certain black women. First it was just women. It's just going to be the women. We're going to be especially the women. Now it's certain black women. Y'all see how it always becomes about black women? This boy, he has got some deep-seated hate for his mama, his grandmama, all them people that taught him his fucked up ways of thinking. He has got some deep-seated ass hate for them.
You fake bitch ass nigga, you. All these lady ass niggas getting their direction from women talking about she cheated. Bitch, you don't know my relationship, hoe. Nigga, my grandmama told me, nigga, you don't leave no man in no city by themselves. You love him, nigga. And I believe my grandmama. And I believe my grandma told me, if a woman leave you by yourself, that means she got something she want to do. And she want to get off. And so I believe my grandma, nigga. Fuck a bitch ass nigga like you that's getting your direction from your wife, you mushmelly ass bitch. Man, my grandmama gave me that chain.
Hey, be a man.
Fuck that.
He gonna cry in the car.
They're taking all types of fucked up advice. It steered his life to be where he is now, lonely and miserable, and can't actually maintain a relationship with his black female daughter, his black female baby mamas. He can't maintain relationships with any fucking black woman. Shout out to Retro 813 on that membership. Appreciate you. Yeah, he can't maintain a relationship with any black woman. So it went from especially the women to now it's the black women. Hold up, y'all.
That too. We're gonna get you up out of here. So we tired of having this dynamic of certain black women that come around and be disrespectful to black men. And then you guys act as if some man is supposed to acquiesce to disrespect. I won't do it.
But he leads with disrespect all the time towards these women, and he expects them to acquiesce towards the man. You see how that doesn't work, Kwame? You throw out that kind of energy towards a woman and you expect them to acquiesce towards you, just like you wanted Tamika to do on their previous panel that you left. That was on Armando's panel that he left before he came over complaining about Tamika. Shout out to Sis. He covered it earlier today in the makeover. And he wanted Tamika to acquiesce to him. He was interrupting her and all types of shit, disrespecting the fuck out of her, and he wanted her to acquiesce to him.
If you disrespect me, you're gonna get disrespected. Point blank, period.
Why? Why? Why does it have to be that way? If you disrespect me, you're gonna get disrespected, point blank, period. Why? Whole bunch of people, whole bunch of Kwamites have, probably disrespected me. I don't know, because I don't listen to them. But hell, I know some of them have said shit, but you don't have to disrespect them back. That's just an immature choice that he's making.
We got too many examples of real women in my chat. Miss Yo Thoughts just stepped in the building. Salute to you. True Pac stepped in the building. Salute to you, True Pac. We got.
Okay, so True Pac, they done kicked her to the curb now. She's still a real woman? Is she no longer a real woman because she doesn't agree with everything they say over there? Shout out to Jose on that $4.99 super chat. He said he needs a couch. He's unstable. I agree. I suggest mental health coaching for any and everybody out there, especially people like this who are dealing with shit. There's no stigma to it. Go get the help because you have a lot of deep-seated hate ingrained in you for women, especially black women. And I don't get it. I mean, he feels like all of these baby mamas and people like that have done him wrong. Because again, everything for him is about money. So because some of these baby mamas and these black daughters and all of that stuff are taking money out of his pockets in the form of child support, now he feels like they're doing him wrong. Even though earlier he said that he's the easiest baby daddy ever, even though he's an absent baby daddy. He thinks that's the definition of an easy baby daddy because he makes sure the check shows up on time. No, you need to spend time in your child's life. Actually develop a relationship. That may have been what your baby mama was trying to do with the 17-year-old. She's like, maybe one last time I can send her with him. Maybe he can actually be a fucking adult and try to develop a relationship with this child before she becomes an 18-year-old full-blown fucking woman and has nothing to do with him. But at this point, she'll probably just never speak to him again. It might benefit her to just never speak to him again rather than wasting her time trying to build that relationship. She's lived 17 years without his ass. Why try to bring his sorry ass in now when he's just going to abandon you at restaurants?
Real women that step in the building and they ain't nothing but respected. Miss Alexandria, a lot of women, but the ones that do not.
So he named all of the women who will agree with him no matter what he does, no matter how bad he is, no matter how much fuck shit he does towards people, these women will agree with him. Because some of those names he has named have been around since the very beginning. So they've observed all of the fuck shit he's done to people. And they still sit there and big him up the same way. So they're just going to agree with him no matter what. And that's what he needs around him. Women who are going to follow him like a cult.
Act like women and simply think that because they have a vagina.
But mind you, as soon as one of the males over there in that cult decides to disrespect that woman, he will jump on that male side and kick that woman to the curb. I mean, look at Trupac, for example. He mentioned her in here as one of those real women. But as soon as Biz and Damn D and Garrick decided to have a problem with her, he kicked her ass to the curb. And the same thing will happen for those other ones if they dare have an opinion of their own that differs from his.
A birthing spot, what they call it now, birthing place, because they taking away all the real women rights while uplifting the negative behaved women.
Taking away the real women rights. Who's taking away these real women rights? Who made you the arbiter or the decider of a real woman from some other woman that's not real? Because you don't have a woman, yet you're telling everybody what a real woman is. You're not married. You don't have a fucking woman. You're always by yourself. So why do you get to be the decider of a real woman? Why don't you leave deciding what a real woman is to the people who actually live with women or women themselves, for that matter? Fuck it. Let women tell you what real women are. Or maybe let men who have lived with actual women for years and years tell you what real women are. Not somebody that's always around a bunch of fucking dudes or by himself with his fucking dog.
So we not going to deal with that over here. We're going to uplift real women and real situations. We don't even want them type of back and forth encounters over here. If you a woman and you acting like that, you up out of here. If we ask you to calm down, chill out, let somebody finish, and you got a motor mouth, you out of here. We're not doing it no more. The optics alone, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of you women trying to cancel men just because you're got a vagina. If you're disrespectful, you're out of here.
So here he is. He's steering the wedge between men and women for whatever reason. No, not necessary. But because he got his feelings hurt by Tamika, now he's steering the wedge between men and women, and now women can do no right. It ain't about behavior, just people in general. It's about women specifically. And him putting women in their place.
And we ain't gonna 86K you. We gonna give you 3-4 days. We gonna give you 72 hours to think about it.
Now, how in the exact fuck are you supposed to do that? Hey, moderators. I'm a moderator in a whole bunch of fucking chats. Hey, moderators. Y'all tell me where the fucking 72-hour timeout button is. Where's the button that we get to press that we get to time a motherfucker out for 72 hours? I'll wait. Because I know that motherfucker don't exist. But I could have swore just a few minutes ago he said that being a moderator is not a job. Right? He said it's not a job. But who the fuck is supposed to be keeping up with keeping these motherfuckers timed out for 3 to 4 days? Because there ain't no button that's gonna help you do it. You gotta block the motherfucker altogether. But there ain't no 72-hour timeout. So whose job is it? Which moderator's job is it? Even though moderating is not a job, according to Kwame Brown, which moderator's job is it to keep up with all these fucking timeouts? Watch who he tells y'all whose job it is. I bet y'all can't fucking guess.
We giving you 72 hours to think about it every time you get disrespectful. That go for a burnt lip lady. That go for 19-year-old. Any one of them that come over to my panel, if they do it one time, 72-hour ban.
So he leaves with the respect, talking about these women.
I'm tired of this game that they playing, being disrespectful and expecting the most respect in the world. We ain't doing that no more. And
being disrespectful and respecting the most respect in the world, even though he just called somebody burnt lip lady. What's respectful about calling somebody burnt lip lady?
And ladies, Miss Akimi, did y'all see him do it? Fly him out of here faster than he can say hot you.
Oh, Miss Akimi, ladies, it's y'all's job. Moderating's not a job, but ladies, Miss Akimi, it's y'all's job. It fly them motherfuckers out of here and keep up with keeping them out of here for 3-4 days, 72 hours.
Donna, I see you in here. That's moonlight. Yes, you will be flown out.
His dumb ass. Now he just looking for women to fly out. Donna's not even moonlight. Donna is Donna, 2455. That always puts the eyes in the chat. That's who Donna is. But this dumb motherfucker just looking for women to fly out the chat now. His attack on women is in full force. He accusing Donna of being moonlight.
We give you 72 hours, 48 hours. We going to give you something. You want to give them 48 hours? Oh, 3 days. Okay, yeah. We going to give them, no, we want to give them 72 hours, Miss Your Thought.
Motherfucker, 72 hours and 3 days is the same thing. He's stupid as hell. Y'all heard him? Y'all want to give him 3 days? No, we going to give him 72 hours, Miss Yo Thought. You know that's the same thing, stupid.
And ladies, Miss Akimi, did y'all see him do it? Fly him out of here faster than he can say hot you. Donna, I see you in here. That's moonlight. Yes, you will be flown out. We give you 72 hours, 48 hours. We going to give you something. You want to give them 48 hours? Oh, 3 days. Okay, yeah. We going to give them, no, we want to give them 72 hours, Miss Your Thought. Yeah, tally up the days on that. Give them 72 hours. We want them 72. We don't.
So moderating is not a job, but Mr. Akimi and Yo Thoughts, y'all get y'all ass over here and do this job of keeping a tally of keeping these motherfuckers up out my chat for 3 days or 72 hours or whichever one it is, even though it's the same fucking thing. Yeah, y'all do that, ladies. I'm telling y'all what to do. Because y'all the real women. And I tell real women what to do. Because real women do whatever the fuck I say. Because I'm the man. And real women, hey, Lovelace, you do it because I said it. Because I'm the man. And you a real woman. Since I said you a real woman, that means you got to listen to everything I say. And do it. So we timing people out for 72 hours. And moderating is not a job. And you don't get paid nothing for it. But you going to do that shit because you a real woman. This one was stupid.
We didn't want to give them 48. We want them 72. Yeah, we want 72 hours. We want 72. That'll give them enough time to think about it.
Yeah, Lovelace, Demetric, and Mika. Y'all are real women, and it's y'all's job. Y'all not getting paid, but that's y'all's job. We timing them out for 72 hours, and y'all got to keep the tally of that shit. But that's only because y'all real women now. If y'all was some of them fake ass women, like, I ain't gonna say none of the names because I'm gonna be disrespectful to respectful and all this dumbass food salad shit he over there saying. But yeah, y'all, it's y'all's job and y'all not getting paid because moderators don't get paid and it's not a job, but it's y'all's job to keep the tally of keeping these people timed out of my chat for 72 hours because there ain't no 72-hour timeout button, but damn it, y'all are real women, so y'all got it.
Oh, Donda is not for moon pie? Oh, I thought that was moon pie. Oh, that's just her. Oh, never mind. Yeah, I thought that was moon pie. Never mind.
Oh man.
I've been watching somebody. I've been watching somebody page their community wall. But yeah, we gonna get all these people up out of here. These people are exhausting. I'm tired of these waste of time people. We give them 72 hours. Now that I had this peace and serenity, I'm mad she broke up my peace doing all that loud talking. I ain't say nothing to this woman. I come up on the panel, I'm talking straight to a dude. Look at nigga, shut up. We don't want to hear all that bullshit you talking about. I'm talking straight to the guy. You don't need to come up here and be disrespectful. Who do you think you are? I
Shout out to Douglas Alvarenga.
wasn't talking to you, ma'am. Wasn't talking to you. That would be. Do y'all understand how out of order that is? If two women are up there, hey, be
Hold
a
on, he
chick
complaining right
word
now.
to
Hold up.
you, and that's what I was getting to. You should have stayed out of my business.
I don't want to hear him complain about Tamika.
She just wanted to argue. Absolutely. I done came in. It's a beautiful night. I'm sitting out on this balcony, relaxing. Think I care about all this drama y'all got going on YouTube? No.
Then why the fuck are you on YouTube hitting people's links to get in the drama? He's so fucking contradictory. He just got off Armando's panel when they went over Biz's paperwork from Connecticut. He just got off Armando's panel arguing with Tamika and trying to argue with Sis. He hit the link to argue with Sis. Sis was already up there and he wanted to distract Sis and try to start an argument with him. And then he wanted to argue with Tamika. But he talking about them disturbing his peace. He wasn't even on the link. They were already up there.
No. Look at that, man. When you sitting out looking at this, man, I came back in. I said, I think I'm going to sleep out here tonight. I came back in. I said, man, I'm finna sleep out here. We got junkies on the internet talking about,
What happened to you weren't supposed to be showing off your location and all that stuff? He's live showing off his location. I thought he wasn't supposed to be videoing your location and putting all that online.
he checking out today or he checking out tomorrow. What kind of, this nigga act like he, at some point I gotta leave, you dummy. I've been here since Tuesday. At some point I gotta leave, you dummy. And now his live gonna be, see, I told y'all. These people so stupid. But yeah, I think I'm finna go get me a pillow. I sure am. I'm finna go get me a pillow and a blanket, and I'm finna sleep out here. I'm finna sleep out here tonight. I'm finna goddamn.
All right, y'all. So maybe this is just me, like overthinking this or whatever. But this got to be the countryest Negro. He about to sleep on the balcony of his hotel room. Like, why? I mean, hell, if anything, leave the door open and kind of sleep with it open air, but sleep in the fucking bed that you paying for. You sleeping on the balcony? I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's just some country ass shit, I don't know. But if I'm paying, I mean, my wife and I, we always get, king rooms or suites and shit like that, but it's going to be a king bed. And I'm sorry, but we paying for that motherfucking bed. I'm trying to sleep in that motherfucker and maybe do some other things in that motherfucker too. But I'm not trying to be sleeping on the fucking balcony. I'm sorry. We sleep with the door open and have it open air, feel the breeze or whatever if it's nice like that. But try to sleep on no fucking balcony. What kind of shit is that? And you supposed to be in this nice ass room.
I got the toes out. I'm wiggling the toe.
And why the fuck are these motherfuckers always talking about they toes out and wiggling they toes and shit? Like, I don't know, man. I'm not calling it suspect or anything, but just the type of man I am, the man I be around and stuff, we ain't talking about our toes being out and wiggling our toes and shit all the time. These motherfuckers always talking about wiggling their toes. Garrick was talking about that shit before too. Got my toes out, wiggling my toes. What the fuck? What is that? What is these men who always talking about wiggling their toes and shit? I mean, I don't know. Wiggling my toes ain't never some shit I ever thought that to say. You know? All right, Dimitri can say it. You'll say it's suspect, Dimitri. Yeah, I mean, that just ain't some shit I've ever thought to say. I'm out here wiggling my toes. What? No, that ain't some shit that comes across as something I ever think to say. Oh, shit. Hold on, y'all. Hold up. Fucked up. All right, all y'all saying is pause, is yag, all that. Okay, well, I'll go ahead and say it then. Yeah, this shit is suspect, man. Talking about you wiggling your toes and shit all the time. That shit is suspect. You
I done
suspect, B.
came in. It's a beautiful night. I'm sitting out on this balcony, relaxing. Think I care about all this drama y'all got going on YouTube? No. No. Look at that, man. When you sitting out looking at this, man,
You know what, Douglas? That's the point right there. I think you just made the point right there. He's seeking validation. And as men, we don't typically seek validation like that. You know, if I'm seeking any validation, it's going to be from my lady. That's it. I don't give a fuck about nobody else out here in this world. As long as my lady is good with it, that's it. But I'm damn sure not seeking validation from people on YouTube and talking about wiggling my toes and shit. What are we talking about?
I came back in. I said, I think I'm going to sleep out here tonight. I came back in. I said, man, I'm going to sleep out here.
Shout out to Muso. Muso said he had his feet in the sand last week. It was a beautiful backdrop. Never thought to wiggle them, let alone show it. Exactly. That's my whole point. I don't give a fuck if you were wiggling them. It ain't something you talking about. It ain't nothing that you even focusing on doing. You know? You motherfuckers, I'm wiggling my toes and all that. No, man. No. Right. Have your feet out. I don't have no problem. Have your feet out. Enjoy the sand. Enjoy the air. All that shit. You know? Shit. I get pedicures regularly. You know, no shame in that. Shit, the pedicure lady the other day told me I had pretty feet. I was like, oh shit. I didn't fucking made it. Mama, I made it. When the fucking pedicure lady tell you got pretty feet and she the one working on them, mama, I made it. Hell yeah. Ain't no shame in my motherfucking game. But I ain't out there asking for it. I'm not out there asking for it, you know, talking about wiggling my toes and shit. No.
We got junkies on the internet talking about he checking out today or he checking out tomorrow. What kind of, this nigga act like he, at some point I gotta leave, you dummy. I've been here since Tuesday. At some point I gotta leave, you dummy. And now his live gonna be, see, I told y'all. These people so stupid. But yeah, I think I'm finna go get me a pillow. I sure am. I'm finna go get me a pillow and a blanket. And I'm finna sleep out here. I'm finna sleep out here tonight. I'm finna get down. I got the toes out. I'm wiggling the toes.
Muso. Muso said the last time you tried a pedicure, the lady said, you must know Taekwondo. You almost kicked her across the room. Mika, no, I did not wiggle my toes after my pedicure. No, ma'am. I don't wiggle my toes when they soaking in the water. No, I just let them sit there and soak in them, you know, bubble and shit. No, I don't wiggle my toes.
I'm finna bring this together and bring that chair over here. Yeah. And I'm finna sleep out here tonight.
That's some country shit.
Nice and peaceful. Nice and peaceful.
Is there not peace in the room?
Negative ass demons. I'm for real, boy. These negative demons. I ain't even gonna have no conversation with them. I don't even think I want to have no conversation with them no more.
We see how well that worked.
Shit.
Because this is all old, y'all.
Me sleeping next to these yachts. Yeah.
So why don't you go spend some real money and sleep on one? Sleep on the yacht. They right there docked. There's probably people sleeping on them damn boats right now.
That mosquito gonna bite the ankle. Man, there ain't no mosquitoes out here. Hey, these niggas mad as I don't know what. Yeah, oh, he hang around all them white people. He in a town where ain't nothing but white people because he hate his own people. Motherfucker, I live in Atlanta. Hey, look, these people will say anything out their mouth. They will say anything out their mouth, man. So basically, you saying Tommy? You talking about Tammy? No,
All
I'm
right,
not
let's
saying.
move
I don't
forward.
understand these nasty, ratchet, fast mouth
I'm trying to get
conversations
through
with a
this
woman or a
shit.
man. It's yes sir, no sir. When it ain't no disrespect in the room, you come around me. I'm one of the most respectful motherfuckers you gonna see. It be people mad at me for calling them ma'am. We be damn near the same age. I be like, yes, ma'am. And they be like, why you calling me ma'am? We about the same age. I'm sorry. It's just a habit. I don't know you, so it's just a habit. Hey, got my
Oh
name
my
tag right here.
goodness.
Okay, how you doing?
That's a fact,
But yeah,
Halima.
man, that's
You can live in Atlanta and still not like black people. He thinks because he lives in Atlanta, there's a lot of black people in Atlanta, that means that he lives near his people or that he likes his people. Every city, I don't give a fuck how black the city is, they still got sections of town that mainly white people live in, and you can live on that side of town.
that's what I'm on. I ain't with all this trying. These people crazy. Oh, your mind's acting different on 2.0? Tupac say respect is a must. Tupac, I'm gonna be back out west. I gotta go do some. I'll probably be back out west the end of April. Hell, the end of April, I'm
We
gonna be
just trying to
back
get to
out
the end of
west.
it, y'all. We almost there. Probably got about a little over a
But
minute
some of
left.
y'all men, man, y'all ain't standing on business. Y'all think it's a bad thing to ask or demand your respect. Like, no. Y'all, that's why y'all so violent towards other men. Cause y'all don't know how to get women to respect you. Like,
What? That's why y'all are so violent towards other men, because you don't know how to get women to respect you. What kind of logic is that? No, that's why he is so violent towards everybody. Because that doesn't make any fucking sense. That's why y'all so violent towards other men, because he's talking about you have to demand your respect, and that's why y'all so violent towards other men, because you can't get women to respect you. What the fuck does that mean? Welcome back, Mom Boss.
oh, your mind's acting different on 2.0? Tupac say respect is a must. Tupac, I'm gonna be back out west. I gotta go do some. I'll probably be back out west the end of April. I should have been off that panel so quick.
Hold up.
The April, I'm gonna be back out west. But some of y'all men, man, y'all ain't standing on business. Y'all think it's a bad thing to ask or demand your respect. Like, no. Y'all, that's why y'all so violent towards other men. Cause y'all don't know how to get women to respect you like me. Like I ain't finna argue with you. If that was my panel, she'd have been off that panel so quick. Gone. Well, you doing too much, you know?
So kicking the woman off the panel is the definition of getting the woman to respect you? That's what he determines getting the woman to respect you, is kicking her off the panel and not having a conversation? It doesn't make any sense, idiot.
Don't take all that. The man say he don't want to talk to you. He ain't even wasn't talking to you in the get-go, so we not doing that.
This misogynistic motherfucker. This motherfucker thinks that men just run everything. And man, that motherfucker got problems. He's going to be alone forever. As long as his attitude stays the way he stays, he never get the help that he needs, the mental health he needs, he's going to be alone forever. Or as far as women are concerned, he might be able to get a man, but he ain't going to get no woman. Not with his misogynistic attitude. Because women, y'all got to be in y'all's fucking place when it comes to him, and he ain't having it no other way. He ain't hearing nothing else, and he thinks he's right. Have a good night, Halima.
No, I'm not blocking people. so we are blocking people whose name is Donna. That's what we doing. Nah, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. I made a mistake. People corrected me, but we not doing that. Salute to you, Donna. I dang sure thought that was you. I thought that was somebody else I met. But yeah, man. But salute to all y'all, man. I'm up out of this thing. I'm finna go ahead and lay it on down. Who said that? I respectfully be in chats. Biz, it don't matter what these basement bombs are talking about over there. You have people who care and support you. Basement bombs. I like that. Who cares, support you, and believe in you over here outside your family. That's what's important. Damn, basement bombs. Now that was the nicest, most disrespectful phrase I done heard in a long time. Cause it really don't hurt your feelings right off the
You
rip.
people are just corny,
Cause the
man.
way it's placed. Basement
Jose, I wouldn't
bombs.
even give him 19. I think his brain is younger than that. Yeah, I wouldn't even give him
God
19.
damn. Yo, that's messed up. I don't want to be a basement bomb. But yeah, man, y'all have a blessed night, man. I'm finna get me a couple of hours of sleep. Salute to all y'all. I'll go. Salute to Biz, man. Free my nigga Biz. Salute to Damn D. Salute to all the guys. Oh, let me put the banner up.
Free my nigga Biz, y'all.
Yeah, but man, shout out to Armando for getting the information and putting it out here and blessing the streets with it. And more importantly, man, shout out to Biz's son, man. You gotta understand, this man got a little son.
Little son. His son is like 17 at the time. Ain't no damn little son.
He trying to raise a young man, and you know they want to ruin people with allegations. But shout out
Allegations, the motherfucker was on the list. He pled guilty. Ain't no fucking allegations.
to Biz Jr.
And the boy has a fucking name, and I wouldn't want it to be Biz Jr.
Basement bombs. Hey, I'm going to sleep thinking about that basement bomb. We need to come up with a song with that basement bombs. We got to come up with a song for basement bomb. But y'all have a blessed day. I'm up out of this thing. Gone.
So y'all see there that he seems to think that in some way, shape, or form, Biz has been vindicated from his offenses, his crimes, just because he got off the sex offense registry. And after Armando read out all of that stuff about his Connecticut case, it didn't help prove his innocence in any way, shape, or form. It didn't help prove his innocence in any way, shape, or form. But again, that's predator protector for you. That's the relationship between a predator and a predator protector. When I guess if you're a fanboy, if you're a groupie for a celebrity, you know, they will put all of their moralities aside and protect predators and attach predators to their brand and then complain about it when people say you have this predator attached to your brand. You know, but he likes to get away with stuff like that. He has a dumbass crowd over there that is willing to let him get away with stuff like that. So they deserve what they get at this point when it comes to being duped and being, you know, talked to in stupid ways, because that's what they get from him. And they deserve it at this point. All right, y'all. So on the thumbnail, we had one more thing, and we are going to get into that really quickly. I don't know if y'all caught Gil's Arena. It made a comeback episode about 5 days ago. They had Stephen A. Smith on the show. And like I said, this is a big switching gears move. So big gear shift. Big time gear shift. Way away from all of that predator, pedo stuff and all of that nonsense. We're going to talk about real relationships that actually we benefit from out here in the world. Business relationships. People building positive relationships with people and you seeing the fruits of the rewards from those positive relationships, right? So let's get into a little bit of this. I got it on 1.5 speed. We're not gonna go through the whole thing, but there's a couple points that I wanted to make on some of the things that he was saying there. Again, talking about relationships, y'all.
or something like that. Here I am. So I like that level of relevancy because it keeps me topical and relevant in that regard.
So how is it being one of the highest paid, black media persons right now that's done it his way?
I'm very proud of it because I don't look at this industry the way a lot of cats who have been in the industry look at it. See, when they see y'all, I don't want to speak for everybody, but they know who they are. They view y'all as a threat. You former players, you got this platform. You're not quote unquote polished in terms of what journalism etiquette is and all of this other stuff. And as a result, you're invading other people's territory. I've never looked at it that way. When I was a reporter, I was fighting for cats to get paid. A matter of fact, if you go back and you look at my history, there's a lot of times that no matter how harsh I could be and critical I could be, I actually held off on it until you got paid. Because I want you to get paid first. I was never one of those dudes that would stand in front and say, don't pay him. I was never one of those guys. I wanted.
And shout out to Stephen A. because Douglas. So there have been times I felt that way. And I don't agree with all of his opinions, not by any means. But there are some things that he says during his interview that are true gems, I believe, and real stuff that if you can listen to some of this stuff with an open mind, forget any of your feelings about any of the opinions that he has on subjects, right? And listen to this conversation with an open mind. I think there may be some value to gain from listening to what he has to say.
People to get paid. So you transition.
Oh, Bishop, you talking to me today? Because the last time I was in your chat, I unsubscribed from you because you was on that bitch shit. You was acting like a bitch. So, but now you want to come over here and talk. Yeah, the last time I was at your channel, you was acting like a little bitch. So I unsubscribed. That's why you haven't seen me over there anymore.
That to this industry itself. I'm very proud of y'all and a whole bunch of other cats that are out here with their platforms. That's why you see me doing these interviews and stuff like that, because I want cats to know I'm not rooting against you. Right. I want you to get yours. Right. But I do look at myself as an elder in this business because I came into the business before there were podcasts. I came into the business before there was Instagram and TikTok and all of that stuff. When I came up in the business in March of 2003, when I got named the general sports columnist for the Philadelphia Inquirer, at that time, I was the 21st African-American in this country's history to get that title. The Wilbons of the world, Mike Wilbons, Bill Rodens, Kevin Blackstones, and others, they had that title. When it happened, people didn't realize, this is 2003. Now, this ain't 1973. This is 2003. You understand that you didn't have a license to give your opinion unless you were a columnist. So in order to express...
So learning some of the path and some of the backgrounds of the media game and how it works and how these people come to get to the positions that they're in. First off, if you don't respect Stephen A. for his work ethic, then you're really just being unfair. I don't give a fuck what you think about, again, any of his opinions. If you don't respect the man's work ethic, then you're just really not being realistic. You know what I'm saying? You're not giving him a fair shot because he has so many shows. He shows up on so many different platforms and stuff like that to give his opinion. So work ethic is one thing you have to respect. Douglas, you said you're open-minded. Your thing is consistency. Okay. So what is it that you feel like he has been inconsistent about? I'm listening to you, Douglas. I'm not trying to disagree with you or anything. Where is it that you feel like he's been inconsistent? And I want to say, outside of sports opinions, again, now if it's an opinion about an athlete, that's one thing. But flip-flopping on a sports take, I think this team's gonna win, and then saying I think this team's gonna win, I don't care about that, But real stuff, yeah, I'm definitely all ears.
Express your thoughts and perspectives, not just report on the facts, but to give your opinion. You have to be licensed as a general sports columnist or an NBA columnist or an NFL columnist to give your opinion. And in 2003, there were only 20 people in American history who were given that license in sports, even though the vast majority of athletes were African American. And so think about that for a second. When you look at it from that standpoint.
So what he's saying is 2003, he was only the 20th African American to be given license to really give his full-blown opinion on sports topics. 2003, not that long ago. And he was only the 20th African American in history to get that full license. The license that all of us have right now, I mean, we're not considered sports columnists for any major media organization, but we all have free license to give our own opinions on every sports topic right now. And in 2003, we didn't have we all didn't have this platform available for us to all give our opinions and get it out there to anybody. And he was only the 20th African American in history to get that license, is what he's saying there.
And then you see all of this happening today where all of us got an opinion and all of us got a voice. Yeah, the advent of technology has assisted in that dramatically, and we get that part. But the point is, people actually care what you have to say and what you have to say. Not just because you're players, but because you have an informed opinion. And to me, I pride myself in being...
And see, informed opinion, that right there is one of the big things that I feel like a lot of the Kwamites don't understand, because they speak on a lot of things from a place of ignorance, and you can tell because they don't even comprehend what they're reading in a lot of the cases. Or they'll hear somebody say something that is totally false, and they'll go on continuing to repeat that narrative, that false narrative that you yourself know is false. So they're coming at things with uninformed opinions, but running all over the streets wild with that narrative. Coming with an informed opinion is something that is respected by people, and why people get blessed for having an informed opinion and being able to articulate it properly.
Being one of the guys that helped open doors like that and make people think about what we could do outside of playing the game itself in terms of speaking on a plethora of issues. And I've always been supportive of it. And that's why I'm so proud of everybody that's doing it.
I'll subscribe back up, Bishop. So next time I come over there, don't be on that fuck shit. That's all I'm saying. You was disrespectful as fuck last time I was over there for no good reason. That's all I'm saying. I don't disrespect you when I come over there. I might troll you a little bit, but it's all in good fun. But I don't disrespect you, and you was being disrespectful. So that's all I'm saying.
So 2003 is when you became a writer. When did you?
No, a general sports columnist. I was a beat writer for the Philadelphia 76ers. So that beat writer, when you're a beat writer, you go wherever the team goes, as y'all know. I was a beat writer from 1997 to 2003.
Okay.
2002. 2002, I became an NBA columnist. And 2003, I became a general sports columnist. And the difference is the NBA columnist gets to give his opinion about the NBA. The general columnist gets to give his opinion about all sports.
So when did you get on TV?
ESPN, CNN, SI, they had a thing called CNN, SI, CNN Sports Illustrated. I started out on TV in 1999. 2001, I went to Fox Sports.
Okay.
And then about a year, and they changed it to the Best Damn Sports Show, period. They wanted me to be on there full time. I turned it down because Tom Arnold was on there, the comedian. Mad respect to him. It's just that I knew sitting next to a comedian every day, I wasn't going to be taken seriously, and that would be a death knell. So I was made.
So right here, what I'm hearing Stephen A. say is he was thinking about his career, and he was trying to mold and shape his career because he was given opportunities and he turned some down based on the way that it would look and the way that he wanted his career to go. He didn't want himself to be looked at as like a comedian or a jokester. He wanted his opinions to be taken serious. So he didn't want to be on a panel next to a comedian who's throwing a joke in there, a punchline in there, when he's trying to give real legitimate sports takes. Douglas said, we good. Now he's getting involved in politics. He knows how to play both sides. Politics is different. You know this. Should listen to Marcellus Wiley. Send me something from Marcellus that you want me to listen to. I'll be happy because I don't have any problems with Marcellus. I don't watch whatever he's on regularly, so I don't hear his opinions, but I don't have any reason to have a viewpoint of Marcellus's opinions going in, So yeah, send me something for sure. I'm all ears. I'm willing to listen to all different points of views for sure.
What was it, like $75,000 a year working, and Fox Sports came to me and offered me 3 years, 1.5 million or so, and I turned it down because I was like, that's not the long game. If I take this now, I'll never get to a place like ESPN or something like that because I would have been sitting next to a comedian and they would have thought we were all about jokes. And so instead of doing that, John Sally, they ultimately went to him, but they kept me on as the NBA analyst. And I would do that, and then ultimately ESPN came calling in October of 2003. And that's when I started at ESPN, and everything just took off from there.
So how long did it take you, obviously you're king of sports media right now, but how long did it take you to find your voice, become comfortable being on camera, being able to give takes and deal with the controversy?
I'm going to go forward a little bit because like I said, we're not going to...
I've never really viewed myself as somebody who had... I think balance is overrated.
Me too.
I think balance is overrated. I think where your heart and your passion lies, that leads you. Like you can have 50.
All right, so one thing he said there, he thinks balance is overrated, and that is true to an extent because it depends on what you want in life, right? Balance is overrated if money and, money is what you're chasing basically through career, entrepreneurship, stuff like that. Then balance is definitely overrated if that's your goal and your chase. I remember Marcellus, the ex-football player. Yeah. I know who he is. That's what I'm saying. You're saying for me to listen to him. What specifically has he said that you want me to listen to? You know, he says a lot of stuff because I know he's on multiple platforms. So that's what I'm saying. I know who Marcellus is. I'm familiar with, you know, who he is, and, you know, I've seen him on shows, but I just don't know what specific takes it is you're looking for me to listen to it. You talking about his opinions about Stephen A. or something else? He got his own channel? Okay. Yeah, but so balance, you know, it can be overrated for sure if you're chasing certain things. But if you are chasing other things, then you may have to consider balance for sure. You know, if you want a happy family life, then you definitely have to balance that with your chase of money, you know, work, entrepreneurial things. So, you know, again, I don't totally disagree with what he's saying, but again, do you want what Stephen A. is chasing and what he has, or do you want something different?
50% family and 50% work. But if you're miserable with your family at this particular moment in time, that 50% ain't something that you need to be having at that particular moment in time. If you're miserable at work, that 50% ain't something that you need to have. You got to balance it out. It fluctuates. It's fluid, as I like to say. It's fluid. And so you have to look at it that way. But for me, it's really about getting up every morning. First of all, I go to sleep at night with stuff on my mind about what I want to talk about the next day. I have an idea of what the pulse of the world of sports or anything that I'm doing, where it's at that particular moment in time. That is an advantage that you do have as a journalist. Because as a journalist, you eat, live, and breathe what's relevant, what's percolating right now. What's happening at 3 o'clock? All right, this ain't relevant at 8 o'clock tonight. This ain't relevant the next morning at 7 o'clock. You got to stay on top of it. And so for me, that's something I do naturally all the time. I'm constantly aware of whatever's percolating in the news. And I go to sleep with it on my mind with an idea of what I want to touch on. But then I wake up the next day and say, am I correct? Let me double check. Has something changed? Is the momentum shifted? Is this something else?
Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe to Gil's Arena if you're not already subscribed to the channel. I know a lot of you probably already are. But yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe to Gil's Arena. You see, they're not just talking about sports. Yeah, this is from a sports perspective, and all these people have been involved in sports or are involved in sports, but they're talking about actual business and, you know, lifestyle of an actual man who is in the journalism business.
Going on that people want to hear about. And that's when I brought up the fact that when you're doing a podcast or a YouTube show, unless you're doing something daily, it becomes a challenge because I might want to do this today. But now, if I don't come back on the air until 2-3 days from now, I got to think about how relevant that is going to be 24, 48, 72 hours from now. When you're doing it daily, not so much. But the daily part is the daily grind because you have to make a commitment. And when you make that commitment to your audience, you got to live up to it. If your audience expects to see you daily, your ass got to be there daily. You can't be somebody that, come watch me daily, and then they see you every now and then. That doesn't work.
And y'all, that's why I don't promise that I'm going to be back on any specific day with y'all, because I don't want y'all saying, you know, Iceberg said he's going to be here and he ain't here. I hate having to reschedule shows. You know, I'm going to try to definitely come back on, say, a Tuesday or Wednesday of each week and do a weekly show. And I'm definitely going to be starting up my Sunday show for the football season. But that's why I try not to make that promise to y'all, because I don't want y'all, you know, waiting for me on a specific day and time and I don't show up, because I know I can't be as committed to this as some other content creators.
You got to condition the audience to expect whatever it is that they're going to expect from you. And I roll with it with that approach. I wake up every morning, 6:30, getting a little exercise, got my morning meeting at 7:30, formulating the rundown for First Take, studying before I go on the air for First Take, studying, making sure that the rundown for the shows, the other shows that I'm going to do is in place. Go on First Take, get that out the way, make sure I do those other shows, get that out the way. But if I'm in the car, I'm listening to sports and news. If I'm sitting down, I'm reading sports and news. If I'm watching television, I'm watching sports and news. I'm one of those guys that I'm constantly on. There are exceptions. You know, when you with your honey, there's an exception. When you with your children, that's an exception. You know, but for the most part, that's your life.
Yeah, people don't understand like that grind it takes. And you know, when I was, starting the podcasting game, and when I talked to Dwayne Wade and he says, treat it like you're starting your basketball career, they're not going to respect the athlete of you, so become the journalist. Right? Because they are journalists. They got degrees. They went to school for the job you're going to get because of your name. So once I figured that out and I got that information, I started looking at all the tops to see what makes them great. And then to realize is the grind behind the scenes of watching, studying. That's why, you guys have lasted so long. So that's what made this show so good, right? You put so much effort and time into it, understanding like personalities, what's moving, what's not, what's hot, what's entertaining, what's not, reading the comments, see, you know what I mean? So, that's what I prided myself on, is becoming a journalist and the entertainer at the same time, and I respect.
And see, what I'm hearing from Gil, he's talking about, becoming a journalist and the entertainer. And Gil, we know Gil to be somebody who studies the things that he gets involved in. Yeah, he comes on joking around and stuff like that. But Gil actually takes the time to educate himself on these ventures and things before he gets involved in them. I mean, we can tell by how, number one, he comes into it, and then how rapidly it starts to change. Whenever he started the No Chill Gil channel, he had a damn chair in a room. And then we saw that room start changing over time. He built it out one way. And then he paid and built that shit out a whole nother way. Then he built the whole studio downstairs for Gil's Arena, So we saw him come into the YouTube game and very quickly and very rapidly expand, learn, and pour resources pour his time, his thought, his effort, his research, and, his money resources into it to build it. We see other people who've been doing it longer that have not even, added much of anything to their stream. They're barely just now getting around to using a green screen. Gil's had green screens, got rid of them, had all types of backgrounds, all types of stuff. So it shows you the difference of what you can achieve in a short period of time with the proper resources and actually going into it informed, as opposed to coming on, getting behind an avatar, and talking to people like this all day, talking all kinds of crazy, and all you see is my avatar picture and, lines going around my avatar. You never really see my face. It's not actually putting on a show that is prepared for you, coming with content that I've already, number one, reviewed, and have an idea of what I'm going to say about it. Yeah, I don't have a problem with people who do blind reactions, as long as it's something that they already have an idea of what it's about. We get some people who will blindly react to a video and they already know what the subject matter is about. They're in that sector, so they can kind of go as they catch on and give you a good reaction. But if you don't know what this stuff is about and you're not educated on the subject and you're trying to give a reaction, it's hard listen. It's a hard listen. Nick Lee, the godly man, what's going on?
What made everyone so great? That's why I wanted to know how you started. And the fact that you said you got paid $1,000 and did it Jesus Christ.
550 times. 550 appearances.
All right, so something that I skipped over that Stephen A said, and again, y'all can watch this entire interview on the Gil's Arena channel. It's up right now. It's about 5 days ago, so it's probably their most recent video. And one thing he said earlier was that I think it might have been one of his ESPN contracts. He said that the contract he signed was to get paid $1,000 appearance, basically, for, I think, like 250 appearances for that year, right? Cool. However, he did 550 appearances that year. So whenever they had to sign this check or write this check for $500,000 to him, they were like, what the hell? We only signed him for 250. Why are we paying him 500? And they were like, the producer said, anytime we call him, he says yes. We love him. Every time we call, he says yes. He will do it, no matter what time, where he is, all of that. If we call him, he says yes. He said there's other people that, they'll call him, man, I ain't got time for that, and they'll stop calling him. So that's how he got all of the money. He just on the air. So he said that led them into being like, well, hell, we just need to give you your own show. And, we can get it out of you for the whole year as opposed to just you doing these hits for $1,000 a hit. So that's what they're talking about there.
I'm 1 year, I'm slipping.
And I think that year, he could believe it. I think that year, I was on the air every day but 2 days.
For the entire year?
Yes, I was like 363 days. And I'm sitting there looking at people like, what's the problem? Mm-hmm. It doesn't faze me. And that was when I had to go to a studio. That wasn't once I built the studio on my home. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, once it's in the home, I'm looking at it, I'm like, we got people out here, look at the median salary that exists in the United States of America. You got cats struggling to make $60,000 a year, And so you gotta look at things from a practical perspective sometimes, because that's what the audience does. They look at their lives and they look at us as being at an elevated level. And rightfully so, because we're making the kind of money that the average person in America won't make. And so when you look at the fact that the average person is struggling to make ends meet, struggling to pay their rent, their mortgage, food on the table, basic shit that we grew up with, that we had to overcome in order to get to the places that we are, what possible excuse can you have if you doing television and they call you and we need you to come on the air for 15 minutes. Well, what's the problem? You know, how is that really I know cats who will remain nameless that have lost their jobs in our business because they were assholes to producers and stuff like that who would call them, yo, man, I need you for Sports Center. I need you for this show. I need you for that shit. I ain't got time for that. The greatest, I remember my former boss, his name was John Wildhack. He was the former executive VP at ESPN. He's now the AD at Syracuse. And he asked me to come.
Okay, so the main point that I was trying to bring to y'all, because again, we're talking about relationships, right? The main reason I wanted to review this interview, and we're not going to get through too much of it because we're approaching the 3-hour mark and I'm really ready to get up out of here at this 3 hours. But the main reason I wanted to bring y'all this interview, because if y'all go back and listen to this interview, what he just did right there, he just said a person's name. I'm going to go back and play it again and see how he refers to this person.
Got time for that. The greatest, I remember my former boss, his name was John Wildhack. He was the former executive VP at ESPN. He's now the AD at Syracuse.
Former executive VP at ESPN, now the AD at Syracuse. And what does that tell you? It's a relationship. This is his former boss, no longer his boss. Who knows how long it's been since he's been his boss. But he maintains the relationship with the man because the man is somebody. Why would you burn a bridge? Why wouldn't you maintain that business relationship with this person, a person of power, obviously? They were your boss at ESPN at one point. Now they're going on to be the athletic director at a big-time, big-money school. This is relationships. This is networking. These are things that Kwame and a lot of those Kwamites don't seem to understand about relationships, and a lot of people in the world don't understand about relationships. A lot of where we get as people is because of the people who have helped us. The networking that we have. You know, there's not very many people who are self-made. You know, you made it on your own. It just don't work like that. The world doesn't work like that. You got to have connections. You got to know some people. Yeah, you got to put in the hard work, but sometimes it's more about who you know than what you know to get that door opened. Once the door is open, you kick that motherfucker down and then you show them what you know. But the who you know might be what is needed to get that door open. And one thing that I respect about what he does throughout this entire interview, and a lot of times, is when he's referencing people in his past, people who have done things for him, people that he's worked with. He can tell you their name, what their title was, and what they do now. It's not just, oh, this person that I worked with. No, this is John such and such. He was the former AD over here, or he's a former VP here. Now he's the AD here. That's knowing your network. That's knowing your network, and when you know your network, you're able to leverage your network, you know, for your benefit. That's the whole purpose in building a network, is so you can leverage it for your benefit, and they can also do the same using your skills. Using your knowledge, your abilities for their benefit. That's the whole purpose of building a network. That's what we do here on social media. We are a social media network. Nick Lee, the godly man. Let me put that comment on the screen, bro, because I believe, yeah. He said, Kwame's biggest issue is he don't want to ask for help. He wants to be a know-it-all that can never get him anywhere in life. That's a fact, Nick Lee. That is 100% a fact. And he doesn't understand it. It's all about his network. And what he's built is a network of degenerates, pedophiles, predators, people who don't have nothing going for them, people who just started their careers at 50 years old, driving trucks, you know, they just started their truck driving career at 50. We got truck drivers in my network who are much younger than 50 and have been doing it for years. You see what I'm saying? You see how these networks are different? He's supposed to be the former athlete, the celebrity, the person who had millions of dollars in their bank account and stuff like that, right? He has people from the sex offender registry in his circle, in his network. He has people who I guess were jobless and decided to go get their CDL after they met him in these last couple of years, but they're 50 years old in his network. He has a bunch of felons that work at Goodwill and people like that in his network. Now you look at my network. Let's see, I got some truck drivers who've been doing it for years, and it ain't because I told them anything. It's because that's the career that they're doing. They're getting shit from point A to point B on these American roads, and I salute each and every one of them. We got, I don't even know what y'all do because why we don't talk about that too much. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm a data analyst. That's all y'all know about me as far as what I do. I'm a data analyst. That's all you really need to know. I analyze data. I get paid well to do it, and I'm not looking to do anything different. You know what I'm saying? So, but we are a network. We leverage our networks to our advantage, you know. Jose, electrician. Salute to all the damn tradesmen. Shout out to the homie Ears. I know I got an HVAC duct mechanic in my network. Shout out to the homie Slim. He's a damn carpenter of all trades. Or I ain't gonna say carpenter. He's a tradesman of all trades. He does carpentry, he does plumbing, he does all the shit. Electrical, he does everything when it comes to building a house and all of that. Shout out to all the damn tradesmen that we got in our network, man. Real talk. Shout out to Brew Life HVAC. Shout out to shit, all the damn tradesmen. Shout out to the educators. Absolutely. All the educators. Especially ones for the little people. You know? Shout out to all the educators. Yes, I love the circle. But it ain't a circle of, you know, predators and felons and shit. And some of y'all may have felonies. But that's not what you're out here leading your life as. You know? If you have a felony, we wouldn't even know because you're not out here carrying yourself in some crazy ass way that's like, oh yeah, that's a criminal right there, you know? Yeah, we got Musso, the diesel mechanic. Yeah, I'm telling you, we got tradesmen galore out here. I'm telling you, man, I love my circle because, you know, I'm not a tradesman by profession, but I do enjoy all of the trades, you know, and I am, you know, skilled in a certain way in all of the different trades, stuff like that, right? You know, when it comes to working on, I can work on aircrafts, you know. I worked on fighter aircrafts in the military. Carpentry is shit that I just love doing, woodworking projects and stuff like that on the side. So, you know, there's different stuff that I love doing with that too. And you put my circle together, my network, even from my YouTube network, I know one thing we can damn do. We can build anything. We got the truck drivers to move our materials from point A to point B. We got all of the different tradesmen to damn do all of the different trades. So one thing I know that my circle is not going to do is be without shelter, without education, hell, without food. People talk shit about me about the gardening, but there's a whole bunch of people in my circle who love the garden as well. So my circle sounds like we could build a village. Because again, we got all the tradesmen. We can build the whole damn house. We got Slim, who knows all of the trades. We got Jose that can do electrical. We got Ears that can do HVAC. We got all types of people who can do all the other stuff, right? Slim can teach people how to do all of this other stuff as well. Ears can take somebody under his wing as a helper. Jose can take somebody and teach them how to do some helper as electrician shit. So boom, we got our house built. We got the garden. We got people willing to help in the garden. And yeah, that's right, Roll Rich. Boom. Jose and Roll Rich got all our electrical. Done. You know what I'm saying? And then we got the teachers. We got Lovelace who can bring do the teaching for the babies, you know. Mom Boss out here. She out here doing her entrepreneurship. And, you know, Mom Boss, she's a mom of 6. So you know she know how to handle some kids and teach them some shit. So, you know what I mean? We got the teachers. We got a whole community. And I love my circle. I love my network. And I don't think we have to be worried about watching for any of the predators, you know, in the community we talking about. You know, I don't think we're worried about anybody trying to take advantage of any of our, you know, children, you know, or women or children, anything like that. You know, we are all going to be a community and protect one another and do our part to contribute to the community, you know. Get one house built. Now let's go build this house, all build this house together for the next person, right? You know what I mean? You teach after school from kindergarten to 5th grade. That's what I'm saying. Nick Lee, boom, we got Nick Lee in here too. I'm telling you, we need plenty of people to teach the babies. We damn sure need a male point of view teaching the babies too. Hell yeah. We need some coaches out there. We got, where Vince? He probably back in school now. I know school's starting back, so Vince might be back in school. We need some coaches out there for the sports and all that. Yeah. I'm saying we got a whole community over here, and we're not worried about predators and felons doing stuff and any of that nonsense, y'all. But we're going to get up out of here, y'all. I wanted to cover more of this Gills Arena interview, and I might at some other point in time get into more of it, but we've been here a little over 3 hours, and I'm ready to get up out of here. Y'all know I don't like to keep these too long, but relationships, there's all kinds of relationships out there. We still need to have the relationship conversation about, I don't even know how y'all exactly want to word it, but I know we were talking about married versus single, I guess the benefits, the way people think about that. I'm coming from my point of view. I'm obviously going to be coming from a married point of view. I can speak to the benefits of that. But there's people out here who feel very strong and adamant about the benefits of remaining single as well. And I can't say that you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because I haven't been single in a long time, so I can't speak against you, and the benefits that you may have been enjoying as a single person. But I think that is a discussion that we can have, and maybe we'll agree. Maybe we'll leave the conversation feeling the exact same we did coming in, but maybe having a little more understanding of what the other person is saying. Maybe some people will get swayed a little bit to not feel so adamant about the way they feel. You just never know. But we're going to get that conversation going. That might be the next one we do. Let me look at my calendar. Hopefully I should be able to come back around this time next week. And let's see here. Yeah, I think we should be looking good to probably come back again either Tuesday or Wednesday of next week and do this again. So I'll figure that out. I get it scheduled probably over the weekend, so y'all know. And yeah, we can have that discussion next live, Nick Lee. Absolutely. I would love to have that discussion. And I know there's been a few people who have been asking for that discussion, so I'd absolutely love to have that discussion. I'll get the live posted early, probably by over the weekend. I'll probably get it posted. I'll know whether it's going to be Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever. So y'all will have advance notice and, go ahead and get it set on your calendar, set your reminders, stuff like that. So y'all going to pull up to that discussion and we can talk about, single life, married life, the benefits, some of the maybe detriments to it, what y'all think. Bringing kids into the mix, all of that stuff, it all has an impact on it. So absolutely. We can do that next time. We'll do that next week. Like I said, probably be Tuesday or Wednesday. I'll get it set probably around Sunday so y'all know in advance when we're going to do it. Tell a friend to tell a friend, man. Tell somebody to pull up and join the conversation. That one, I'll go ahead and drop the link at the beginning so people can pull up from the beginning and we just have the conversation. We can see where it carries us. Of course, I'll come prepared if, it takes people a little bit of time to get into the conversation. I'll come prepared with some stuff to get us prompted or whatever. But hey, if we're ready to get into it and just take off and go, let's do it, right? Let's do it. I'm all about it. So until next time, hey, appreciate you, Jose. Appreciate you. I definitely appreciate you. Appreciate all the support. Appreciate all the super chats that everybody sent. All the support of the show, man. Y'all are greatly appreciated. Shout out to Roll Rich, Cashapp, Jose 2 times for them them super chats. I appreciate y'all so much. Yeah, we're going to give y'all the rest of y'all's evening back. Hey, y'all make sure y'all do something good for yourself, man. It'll make you feel good to do something good for yourself. And then do something good for somebody else. It will make you feel even better to do something good for somebody else. Know you did something good for somebody else and put that good karma out there in the world. Earlier we were talking about how much Kwame talks about he don't want to go places and stuff. And it feels like he's paranoid that something's going to happen to him. Like he has a lot of bad karma out there in the world and is waiting for something to happen to him. And I like to put a lot of good karma out there in the world and expect these good blessings to come back to me. I don't walk around thinking that something bad is about to happen in my life. I actually walk around thinking something good is about to happen to me. And a lot of times that's what happens. My days definitely go a lot more positive when I'm walking around expecting good things to happen in my life. So try that out. Walk around expecting something good to happen. Do something good for yourself and then do something good for somebody else. Feel the reciprocal effects of what happens when you put that good karma out there in the world. And until next time, good people, this is Iceberg. We're going to get up out of here. Y'all make sure y'all have a wonderful evening. Take care of yourselves. Salute.
Now, as they say in your country, let us be out.